Let's rally, everybody. Here we go. Let's see. I believe I'm holding everything that would be considered to be news right here. 3 pages. Look at you going all out, huh? And a staple. Because we are
classic.
That's right. Got a birthday coming up, everybody. Get ready. Still time to shop. 150 days away. Got a little bit of work to do. But first, let's see. Also celebrating. Was Facebook launched today?
Yep.
2004. Okay, good. I will go through the 10 horrible things about Facebook. Are you on it? By the way, we got our page back. They were taken down for a while. We don't even know why we were taken down, but we were taken down.
So we have a theory.
Okay.
You changed the name of your personal Facebook page to John Curley Official. And our Facebook page, The John Curley Show, some, bot or algorithm thought that we were impersonating your personal page.
Yeah.
So we got suspended for impersonation.
Anybody impersonate a page we never go to or look at?
Unlikely.
All right, Winter Olympics off to sort of a crappy start. People have been saying, well, Milan wasn't ready. They didn't seem to really want it. They didn't spend enough money on it. How can you curl in the dark? Maybe that could be a new Olympic event. They're there doing curling. It hasn't even started yet. This isn't fair to the curlers. Boy, have I said this once, I said it a million times. Why do they treat this sport like it's just people running on ice with brooms? It's more than that. They haven't even had the official opening for the Winter Games, which is a Friday, right?
Correct.
But already, those guys are like, yeah, why don't you just start already?
That's not right.
That doesn't seem right.
No.
I covered the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake, and the only event I saw was curling.
Boom.
Had a ticket. Went inside. Let's see. The Ice House is now the Winter House for U.S. athletes. That's the hospitality. The hospitality spot, Ice House, is now the Winter House. Oh, because of ice?
Mm-hmm.
700 agents, speaking of ice, are coming out of Minnesota. Hopefully sort of turn down the temperature a little bit to melt some of the ice.
Ooh.
See what I did there? And the president is calling for, once the federal government get involved in actually counting votes, that's not constitutional. You can't really take that away from the states. But, interestingly enough, 80% of people, when they were surveyed, said, are you okay? And do you think it'd be a good idea for you to use ID, like a picture, either on a driver's license or something that would show who you are in order to vote? And 80% said yes. Who are the 20% that would say no to something like that? Will that go through? Will eventually have states enforcing that you actually have to prove who you are? You got to prove who you are with a whole bunch of other stuff, but apparently when it comes to certain states, we'll just trust you. And the first lawsuit has come down. $2 million given to a 22-year-old woman who at the age of 16 had her breast removed. And then when it went to court, I was surprised it was only $2 million. They gave her $400,000 for pain and suffering, $400,000. When the defense attorney was asked, well, what standard of practice was used, best practices for this medical operation for a 16-year-old girl, didn't really have an answer. And that's when the jury's like, okay. Well, there's 27 other cases that are pending. Expect them all, or most of them, to go in the direction of the plaintiff and the detransitioned child. So you're going to see more and more local hospitals and national hospitals as well as just getting rid of it. Mary Bridge leading with 2 federal threats. It looks like they will probably be closing their gender-affirming sections. And then also, did I run out of time already? What? How did I wait? Is the music? Is it me?
You're spoiling everything.
Well, I'm just digging in. I'm skipping ahead. Okay. I'm going to skip ahead.
All right.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I need a little bit of music for this because it is... I met this guy who has an Ocean Shores. Nate Hamilton. He was a waiter. Then he came over and gave me his business card. And it says Nate's Vintage Paranormal Shop. I was like, well, there we go. Move that guy to the head of the pages right there.
All right.
He said, if you want to see Bigfoot, come to Ocean Shores. Bigfoot, aliens, there's spaceships, there's just everything. Wow. And Nate Hamilton says he believes, I don't know if it's that the aliens like picked him out early, But there's a photograph of him when he was 8 years old. And in the photo, there he's standing there, I think on a beach or something. I don't know where he's taken. And it wasn't until his aunt noticed a couple of years ago, "Hey, Nate, what's that above your head?" And what was it?
Bigfoot.
No, Bigfoot above his head? No, an alien spaceship with Bigfoot driving.
Aha.
No. So Washington's safe place to talk about all things paranormal. So he joins us at 5:30. And there we go. By the way, Brady, we do the gong in the beginning and the gong in the end to make it seem more professional. You ready? All right. I was thinking. We have a birthday coming up. We have 150 days from today. And we, meaning all Americans, are invited to celebrate the birth of this great nation. We did it before, 50 years ago. If CBS helped out when they started this thing called Bicentennial Minutes, brought to you by Shell. They went something like this, Joe.
This is Jessica Tandy.
Oh, yeah.
200 years ago today, British work gangs were stripping Boston bare of wood, piling up firewood for the winter ahead. The giant elm that for 120 years shaded the corner of Washington and Essex streets was gone. The elm had been Boston's liberty tree. For 10 years, patriots met there to denounce British tyranny. Then the British came with axes to chop the living symbol down. An onlooker described their glee. He said, after a long spell of laughing and foaming with malice, they cut down a tree because it bore the name of liberty. The liberty tree yielded 14 cords of wood, but one redcoat, hacking away at a high branch, slipped and fell to his death. The liberty tree died, but not without a struggle. I'm Jessica Tandy, and that's the way it was.
These historic minutes are sponsored each night by Shell.
CBS started these about 2 years before July 4th, 1976. CBS asked big stars to appear. Many of them are like, why should I be in a free commercial for Shell? But then eventually they caught on, and then everybody wanted to be in them and appear in these Bicentennial Minutes. They were 1 minute long, opening with the flourish that you heard with the trumpets and the French horns. They interrupted the normal broadcast show to remind the viewers about historical moments of great importance. Today, we have fragmented entertainment with so many choices, so something like this would probably never fly. Plus, Americans themselves are also fragmented. Maybe it's because of the fragmenting of entertainment and news, but we, the people, feel more like us and them. A poll proves this. You can get any poll to prove anything, that 80% of us, when surveyed, disagree on the facts. How do you even begin to celebrate anything when you disagree with just basic facts? Basic facts are hard to prove, and people are having problems with it, and it is rather a depressing number. 1976, we came out away from the riots, the Vietnam War, and Watergate, the country's birthday, where boys and girls, all of us were in pain. We were broken, but we were willing to all come together again. We were like divorced couples that show up together at the kid's birthday party. They put personal pain aside for the sake of the child, because there's a love of the child. The fighting parents might grit their teeth, but they smile and they sing along to Happy Birthday as they snap a photo of the child blowing out the candles, hoping that the wish from the child is not something like whether or not the parents can get back together again, but more fanciful, more childlike, more carefree, like the kids blowing out the candles hoping for a pony. I have a suggestion that I'll take from CBS, like the Bicentennial Minute. There's a historian, Walter Isaacson. He is a great historian. He's written many, many books. He has a new one called The Greatest Sentence Ever Written. The sentence, in its original form, could actually be found in the basement of the Library of Congress. The historian found it there, and he dissected it, and he dusted it for metaphorical fingerprints. And there were 3 that had really touched it, but many others had helped form it. The sentence, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creators with certain unalienable rights, those among them, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If you read the book, and I highly recommend it, by the way, Thomas Jefferson takes his first draft and sends it over to Ben Franklin. Says, would the good Dr. Franklin, I don't know how Thomas Jefferson sounded.
You can do it.
Let's see. I'll give him a high voice. Would the good Dr. Franklin, with his great wisdom, please improve this? Franklin wrote to Jefferson. Here's what Jefferson wrote. We hold these truths to be sacred. Franklin got his pen out, crossed out sacred, and replaced it with self-evident. Interesting. Why? Because Franklin wanted the nation born not of religion, but of rational logic, not something that was sacred. Jefferson had another edit coming. This time, John Adams got his hands on it, and he crossed out endowed with certain rights and inserted religion back into it with endowed by their creator. So you get the sense of compromise here. They're trying to strike a balance, a delicate balance between logic and religion. Thinking of the time of drafting, there were many other call-outs as well. So while they're standing in this room, there is a servant, because you think about, well, you know, it was a terrible time and there was slavery and there was so much hypocrisy. And yeah, I get all that. The fact that there was a guy named Thomas Hemming who was standing in the room who's a servant whose sister would end up bearing Thomas Jefferson's love child, all of that taken into consideration. But the fact that all of these men stood in this room in Philadelphia wanting a country, some of them to be free of slaves, others to want slavery, but they were all working together. One thing in common, the common ground that this country would be setting upon with a firm foundation of logic and religion that would lead to eventually all of us, both men and women, black and white, everyone, all peoples being free. America is not as divided as the media would like you to believe. They need you to believe that, so you continue to click on stuff. But left and right loudmouths, like the fighting estranged parents at the birthday party, need to once again grit their teeth and realize it is not about them and their personal slights, but a celebration of the greatest nation born of compromise for the common good. A nation that millions and millions and millions and millions of people come to from very, very far away so that they can be free. Free individuals for life, liberty, and their own pursuit of happiness. We have 150 days, so let's get ready to sing Happy Birthday. And let's put aside the petty differences and sing for the sake of the kid, which is America. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right.
That was beautiful.
Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you.
See? Look what we can do when we're up against the wall.
Let me tell you something. I look at that, like Joe's like, how's the monologue going? I'm like, it's 12:30. I'm like, I'm working on something. I start working on one thing, and then it's like 1:30. How's it going? I said, I'm struggling over here. I got a deadline. I'm struggling. It was like 2:00. I'm like, oh my God.
That was beautiful.
Well, yeah, whatever. Thank you, Joe.
I love it.
Thank you, Joe. Let's do a quick check on Joe to see how paranoid he is about the direction of the world because of Epstein files. If you weren't paying attention on Friday night, Joe dug deep into all the files, the 3 million and plus all the other stuff that came out, then started calling me or texting me on Saturday. We spoke on Sunday, and you put yourself at a 10 that you don't believe anything that you hear or read coming out regarding the DOJ's release of the Epstein files, that we can't trust anyone, no matter what it is. You were at a 10 the other day. Where are you now?
Maybe at a 9.5, but I mean,
there's hope.
It's still pretty 10-ish, if I'm being honest.
Okay, thank you.
But I'm not going to let it bother me.
You got to just power through.
That's right.
All right, we'll get a chance to maybe hear something from Melinda Gates as well, her reaction to what's coming out about her husband.
We did that yesterday.
I know, but maybe there's some even new stuff. She did another interview. All right, let's do this. Lori's got to check a traffic for us. We'll come back. We'll celebrate all the rest of the stuff, have of the day in history. And let's see. Oh, someone left a gun at a Bellevue elementary school, and the district didn't tell the parents for almost a month. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be an important piece of news.
Do you think so?
Normally they'd go, oh, we told you. Your kid put it in the bottom of their book bag. But no. Here's Lori checking traffic, Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Northbound 405 at 160th in Tonham Lake. Look out for a stall partly blocking the ramp. Seattle to Everett now up to 46 minutes and a 41-minute commute. Bellevue to Everett. Seattle to Tacoma will take you 38 minutes, and Tacoma to Olympia is 34 minutes. Mukilteo Ferry right now is on a one-boat run. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO Newsradio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Since the beginning, 50 years ago, KIRO has been the only place where the 12s have listened to the Seahawks.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks. Steve Rabel made the catch.
And Sunday, the tradition continues.
The Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl.
When Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman bring you the call of Super Bowl 60 between the Seahawks and the Patriots. And like every other Seahawks game, the only place you'll hear it is KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show, the Big Seattle Boat Show. The Big Seattle Boat Show is happening now through February 7th. It's the best time to buy, with big selection, big discounts, and big fun for everyone. It's a big deal. Presented by Sundance Yachts and Port of Seattle. Make it a date Friday evenings with Boat Show After Dark, featuring unforgettable ambiance, music, food, beer, and wine. Details and discount tickets at seattleboatshow.com.
We are going to the Super Bowl.
And the home of the Seahawks, KIRO News Radio, is there.
Can you believe it?
All week long, G. Scott broadcasts live from Radio Row in San Francisco during the G and Ursula Show. Weekdays 9 to noon.
It is a circus like you have never seen.
And Luke Ducey will be on the ground.
I am on the lookout for everything 12s.
From the only station where you hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, KIRO News Radio.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10 and 7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Save $1,700 when you have Day and Night match your current furnace with a qualifying AC or heat pump.
Your furnace is lonely all by itself, but it doesn't have to be. With our Matchmaker Special, we'll match your furnace with a perfect air conditioner or heat pump to keep your furnace company and your home comfy all year round.
Match your furnace to a qualifying cooling system and save $1,700.
DayandNight.net. The G and Ursula Show.
If you want to see what I'm wearing today, check out Mrs. Roper.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
A moo-moo is like a bank. You never know how much is in it.
On KIRO News Radio and the KIRO Newsradio app.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Since the beginning, 50 years ago, KIRO has been the only place where the 12s have listened to the Seahawks.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks. Steve Rabel made the catch.
And Sunday, the tradition continues.
The Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl.
When Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman bring you the call of Super Bowl 60 between the Seahawks and the Patriots. And like every other Seahawks game, the only place you'll hear it is KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. A seasoned bounty hunter tells KIRO News Radio he believes the kidnapping of Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mother was likely random.
Chuck Jordan, president of the National Association of Fugitive Recovery Agents, tells Jake and Spike this likely started with some local criminals noticing a nice house in a secluded area.
They may have watched it for a little bit and saw that it was an elderly woman that lived alone, that was a soft target. You know, elderly people, especially live in a nice house, probably have a lot of savings.
So he figures they abducted her to make it easier to get her money. Jordan says investigators have to assume that Nancy Guthrie is still alive until evidence proves otherwise. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A change is coming for shoppers at Whole Foods stores. KIRO 7's Lindsay Sheldon with more on their hand scanners.
Amazon is pulling them from all stores in June. The Palm scanners let customers pay for groceries by hovering their hands over the scanning station at checkout. Amazon didn't say why it's nixing the system, but promises to delete all customer data after the scanners are discontinued.
Seahawks gear is flying off store shelves as the Super Bowl draws closer. Demand has surged so much that Fanatics, the NFL's main merchandise supplier, issued an apology to fans struggling to find what they're looking for. KIRO 7 spoke with local jersey shops where employees say they're doing everything they can to keep shelves stocked.
Everybody's up wanting everything, and we're just doing the best we can. I was like, we might be a little short on items, but we tell our customers, hey, come back 2-3 days, we're going to have it for you.
Fanatics say it's shipping in more team-colored jerseys daily and offering alternate options in the meantime. FanFest in San Francisco is drawing crowds from across the country with interactive games, helmet exhibits, Super Bowl rings, autograph sessions. Seahawks fans are out in full force celebrating the team and the Super Bowl atmosphere. With the 40 whiners out, KIRO 7's Eric Thomas spoke with a fan who's decided to switch his colors.
I'm a Niner fan, but I'm buying a Seattle jersey because I don't like Drake May and I don't want the Patriots to win. Go Hawks!
There we go. Caribbean chain restaurant Bahama Breeze is closing all 28 of its locations, including the one in Tukwila. The Seattle Times reports the chain's owner will convert about half of them into other brands that it owns, like Olive Garden or Yard House, but that will not be the case in Tukwila. And now from the real-time traffic desk, we say hello to Lori.
Hello there. Northbound 405 at 160th and Totem Lake. We've got a stall partly blocking the ramp. 30 minutes, Everett to Seattle, and Linwood to Bellevue, just 17 minutes right now. Seattle to Tacoma holding at about 38 minutes. I'm seeing a pretty heavy drive out of Renton, 167 southbound. Lets up a little through Kent, and then heavy again, Pacific all the way into Sumner. And Tacoma to Olympia is a 34-minute drive. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thanks, Lori. Now your weather update. Early spring-like weather for the next couple days. Morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, and highs around 60. Clouds thicken up a bit Friday, and we'll have rain for the weekend. Right now, partly sunny and 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 1-888-973-5476. But first, Home Comfort Alliance. When it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Bring the music up, Brady. Make it seem dramatic. Higher. Higher. Heating. Cooling. Plumbing. And electric. HomeComfortAlliance.com. I keep saying I got to have them come out and put this generator in there so we don't have a power outage for the weddings. Wouldn't that be terrible? The power outage they had there in Milan when the guys were just out there trying to do their curling.
I'd want my money back.
Okay, don't start with that. That's not a nice thing to say.
But, it's a wedding, biggest day of your life, Power goes out. Ooh.
Okay. You know what? During the next break, I'm calling Home Comfort Alliance because you just jinxed the entire wedding business.
Very good idea.
Okay. By the way, it's so weird. We have a really simple contract, like 2 pages. We're like, well, whatever, just have a good time. Here's the key to the place. Just we'll see you Thursday. You get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Leave by Sunday by 3 o'clock. It's easy peasy. And then it's amazing what people will do. And then, well, should we put that in the contract that you're not allowed to do that? Please do not take the inflatable mattress out of the chapel and tie it to the back of the boat and then put 50 people on the back of the floating mattress and race around on the little lake. Well, that's got to go in there. Sign it. Please do not have 25 people jump off the dock simultaneously into the water for your Instagram photo because you break the dock.
Or steal the car.
Just take that. There we go. You're more than what I usually like. Oh, you want to drive my Porsche? Sure. Drive away, tie the cans to the back. That doesn't mean you can just drive away and then drive down the road. Just drive away. Like, where are you going? The thing was gone for like an hour. And Nick's like, where's the car? I said, I don't know. Somebody took it. And then we see it go racing by. I go, there it goes. Now you got to put that in the contract.
No driving the tractors.
They drove the tractor, right? Left the lights on, burned that out.
Yeah.
It's like, that's why people are like, wow, we looked at this other venue and they had like 50 pages. If you soil the sheet, don't stuff it behind the couch. Write that down.
Come on, people.
Come on, people, with your you think you're a people person till you see how they treat your sheets.
Ugh.
Take that one to the bank. All right, this day in history. This day in history, John decides he wants to close down the wedding business. All right, George Washington is elected a U.S. president. Let's see. Latter-day Saints, they decided they're going to get out of Utah. Then they came back later on in 1846. 1902, Charles Lindbergh, controversial historic aviator, is born. That guy was straight up racist. You ever read about him?
Not much, but I read
he and Henry Ford were like, yeah, go Nazis.
Yeah, that's what I read.
Yeah. Yalta Conference, foreshadowing the Cold War in 1945. 1946, the first wave of World War II war brides arrive in America. I should have read about that. Patty Hearst, who I'm tired of now, kidnapped by the SLA and Joe thinks it was a setup, that she wasn't kidnapped, that she wanted to go.
In on it the whole time.
Okay. I looked up Facebook, which was launched in 2004, which is when you start to think about it, here's like a couple of nerds there in college that are basically rating women. They're sitting there, for all intents and purposes, basically eunuchs. And they're like rating the women going by and like, oh, she's hot. She's good looking. Let me take my glasses off and clean out my ear with the part of my glasses. Yeah. That's what the beginning of the thing was. And then now it turns into this giant scam, as Zuckerberg said, oh, it's going to be a way of bringing everyone together. Yeah, bringing everybody together by you creating malware and paying kids back in 2016. Yeah, just download this onto your phone, and we'll pay you like $25 or $30. Get your friends to do as well. And it basically put malware on their phones so they could track everything. Then they sold the data, and every time they would get fined, they're like, let's see, the fine is $10 million or whatever. Pfft, who cares? We make so much more selling your data. I mean, they track you. They ask you to put your phone number in there, and then they sell your phone number. They track you with other stuff. Then they want give us your email. They get your email, and then it's able to dive in and then get all of your contacts. And then it's knowing everybody that's just part of your contact that even sign up for Facebook. I mean, the whole thing is just this giant spy ring that just uses everything they can to possibly sell you crap.
They're data brokers.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Right. So when you put something up, oh, here's my grandchild's first poopy diaper. And then like, oh, it looks like you need another diaper or something, or you want grandkids, whatever. When you look at your feed, what's being fed to you is not to unite anybody, because they realize it's the emotions of anger and resentment and hostility and jealousy, all those stuff. That's the thing that gets people coming back again. So you get a lot of like 75-year-old people. Whoa, screw you, typing. It was radio, so I had to explain what I was doing. Yeah. Let's do a quick round the horn. Lori, on Facebook or not?
Yes.
Okay. When was the last time you posted something?
Well, I do it every day.
Oh, my.
Oh,
junkie.
Okay, we're going to have to come in there and do a
intervention.
Yeah, intervention for you.
But it's not about me.
Oh, it's not about you. What is it about?
Oh, things.
Traffic?
Life. Yeah, traffic. Always traffic.
No, when was the last thing you posted?
Well, I have a podcast, so I post reels to get people to go listen to it.
Okay. What's the podcast about?
It's about Interrupted, when people have gone through difficult things and how they came out on the other side.
Nice. Wow. How do we not know that? I guess we don't go to Facebook enough.
Yeah, we never.
What's one of your most inspirational stories that you can think of off the top of your hat?
Oh my goodness, I have two, but one was a lady that had her leg amputated, and she ended up doing training for the Paralympics, and she did an acrobatic act on a motorcycle above the crowd with only one leg. They trained her for 6 months, and she wasn't able to tell her family. And the reason she came on my show is she made canes for people that were see-through and cool. And then she tells me this story about being in the Paralympics, and I think it was Coldplay was playing, and she was flying through the air.
Wow. On a motorcycle?
Yeah, well, she was hanging off of it. Someone else was riding it, but she was hanging off of it, flipping around, and yeah.
And you thought you were just going to talk about
canes.
Mm-hmm. See that?
Yeah.
See what you find out? All right.
Wow.
All right. You're a fan of Facebook, though.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I know. It's the only game in town.
You're on there, too. Don't pretend like you're...
Well, I haven't been on there. When was the last time we posted anything?
About 45 minutes ago.
Okay. Let's go to our Facebook page, everybody, where we can track your data.
Maybe the better question is who posts on your Facebook page if you don't.
You know, the first time I got Facebook, I don't know how many years ago, I was at King 5, and somebody said, oh, you should get Facebook. And then all of a sudden, this stuff was like popping up. I didn't know how it worked. Like, who's this person? Like, what do I care about their kid? Like, who's this? Why is this person on my? I didn't know my feed. I was like trying to figure it out. I'm like, who's that? Who's this? Who's this? Why do I care about that kid going to college?
You still haven't figured it out.
I didn't understand. I still don't get it. Still don't get it. I'm like, why? Who are you?
You're also on Instagram.
I figured that
And
out.
not just for the show, by the way. That was just...
Yeah, all right. We're not going to bother even asking Brady. We know he's not on Facebook, right?
I'm on Facebook.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then, happy birthday, Facebook, and happy birthday, rest of you celebrating 200 since 2004 when they launched. Okay. Here comes Lori again. Checking traffic, Lori.
405 struggling from Bellevue all the way to about 527. 30-minute drive, Everett to Seattle, and Linwood to Bellevue right now is a 17-minute drive. Seattle to Tacoma, 40 minutes, and Tacoma to Olympia is up to 37 minutes. I'm Lori. KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Humans, we all value things that last, like local businesses, long-term relationships, people who've been part of the community for years. We know what that is. That's also Madrona Financial and CPAs. For decades, they've been serving Washingtonians, and what makes them different is the fact that they combine taxes and investment under one roof. Most firms separate the two. And when you do that, well, you might not be prepared for retirement. Separating them is like it's like baking a cake with half the ingredients. See, taxes are often the biggest retirement expense, bigger than travel or healthcare. Yet most never get a clear look at how taxes and investments fit together. And that's where Madrona offers the Madrona analysis. It's easy to understand. It's a review of your retirement picture, income, taxes, and investment, all working together in one coordinated plan. Best of all, it's conversational. You talk with somebody who's going to be able to explain it to you in plain English. Discover the hidden tax traps. See if your portfolio matches income needs, and learn the steps to retire in confidence. You retire with confidence, and that's what we all want. Call 833-673-7373. 833-673-7373. That is your chance to have a complimentary Madrona analysis. Madrona Financial and CPAs, locally trusted, and they'll put the whole picture together for you. 833-673-7373.
If your home is 20 years old or more, it might be time to have your roof checked. Your roof is your home's first line of defense, and at Guardian, we help it last as long as possible. That's why every new install comes protected with a full year of free maintenance on us. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
If you're wearing glasses or contacts, but you need reading glasses or bifocals now, you need to join Drs. Kopstein and King for the K2 Vision RLE live webinar this Thursday at noon to learn about refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE. This free webinar is a perfect opportunity to meet the doctors and have them answer all your questions about K2 Vision RLE. Questions like, how much does RLE cost? Is financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE? These questions and lots more will be covered this Thursday at noon during the K2 Vision RLE free live webinar. K2 Vision surgeons have performed over 150,000 procedures. They know when RLE is right for you. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers, plus no more cataracts. Don't miss the free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Register at K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What did the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are, as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Do you like helping others? Become a Shiva volunteer. In Pierce County, join the hundreds of volunteers across Washington state who help over 90,000 people each year with their Medicare options and questions. You don't have to know Medicare. We'll teach you. And if you're bilingual, even better. For more information and how to apply, call Shiva at 1-800-562-6900 or go to insurance.wa.gov.
Sponsored by the Office of the Insurance Commissioner and aired by the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Bump. Winter games begin. Gets off to kind of a rocky start for those people that were just trying to compete in the curling 2026 Winter Olympics. Not going well. Power outage. They still don't know what happened. But for the people there for the curling.
So it might be a little bit of a issue here with the power.
The what?
Power.
I'm not too sure whether Lauren plugged a phone charger in or... but we've got a power issue. I thought, well, everything's gone quiet, but now everything's gone dark as well. So we've got a little bit of a delay here during the first end.
That guy's struggling. Boy, that's the beginning. I mean, dude, that guy's going to get a gold medal for just trying to vamp through the darkness. It lasted just enough to, I think it was 4 minutes altogether of darkness, and then it came back on again. Yep. Yeah, so they worked it all out. People are saying, well, Milan wasn't ready. You're still slow on getting everything set. They were still building things. You didn't really want the Olympics. You didn't have enough money behind it. But if you've ever been to Italy and spending time there, you get the general sense that people they're not on the clock much.
No.
I remember going to this, we need to get money over there. We need to get some money. We're the bank. There's a sign on there. We'll reopen at 2:00.
Yeah, they do the Spanish siesta thing.
Yeah, and I said, is it going to open? Maybe it'll open at 2:00. I was like, what do you mean maybe? The guy goes, well, boo. You know, boo means boo. Don't know. Boo.
Depends on how much wine they had with lunch.
Yeah, so they don't really work on anybody else's schedule. The other part is the Winter Olympics news is that the Ice House, which was the hospitality venue, they've decided, well, they better not do that because it's so scary for everybody. So they've changed it to the Winter House.
I think Winter House is a great name for a Winter Olympics. It makes a lot of sense. We are winter sports, and I think it's nice. Winter is coming, as they say in Game of Thrones, and we're here. So we'll see you at the Winter House.
If something as
simple as changing a name can do anything to make someone feel more comfortable. It's really unfortunate that the term ice isn't ice skating. Like, I'm here on this sheet of ice, and saying that, it's kind of like, disheartening that something so negative has taken that name from us. But
No,
that is
you let them take it.
so minute in comparison to the struggles and the atrocities that people are facing back home. And my hearts are really with the people back in the U.S.
Oh, my God. Wow. Okay. It's not like Italy is so welcoming for immigrants. They're rounding them up and shipping them out. They're doing the same thing there. They've got a big problem with immigration. So there is immediate deportation. And they used to have some trials and stuff. Now they're just like, goodbye, see you later. So, and then there was a big protest that they had there. A bunch of Italians were out there with signs talking about America and how horrible it is, and get ICE out of there. Anybody that's coming from Homeland Security is coming because they were being asked to be part of security there. They're not going in there and looking for illegal immigrants that have.
Which papers are they going to ask them for?
Right. Like, well, we're going to. Okay, we know you did something horrible in Venezuela, and then you snuck into America, and now you're in Italy. We're going to deport you. Come on, that's not it. But these people are out there marching around, ICE out of Italy.
Yeah, I don't think you can travel without a passport anyway.
Yeah. So this is the same nonsense that happened with Black Lives Matter, that there were protests like in Germany, and you can't find. You want to talk about racist countries? You go over to Europe, right? And they were out there running around with their BLM signs. It's like, take a good look at yourself compared to America. And they were, BLM, Black Lives Matter here in Germany. I think you'd rather be in the United States than in Italy. You ever spend any time over there? And
I've never been to Germany. I've been to Italy.
Yeah. You sense that they're not the most welcoming people.
France certainly wasn't.
No.
They did a couple robbery attempts in Italy, but that's just, that's big city business.
Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that. That's where in Rome where they pickpocket you. The one guy shows you this map. Do you know where this is? While the other kid is like reaching in and getting your wallet. Yeah.
Don't keep your wallet in your pocket.
There you go. Here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by BTYB Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Northbound 405 struggling from Bellevue to Everett, making it a 52-minute drive, Bellevue to Everett. 30 minutes, Everett to Seattle, and Seattle to Linwood. Reverse that, 35 minutes. We're looking at 12 minutes if you're heading from Federal Way to Tacoma. Serving the Pacific Northwest for over 30 years with hundreds of 5-star reviews, 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
We knew the foundation was strong.
Last year, everything was new.
But this?
We are going to the Super Bowl!
Doubters? What doubters?
We did not care.
We've been playing dominant football all year.
Now, the stage is set to finish by claiming the ultimate prize. Seahawks Patriots in Super Bowl 60. Kickoff with Steve Rabel on the call. Sunday at 3:30 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed. Shop now for a limited time. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
We live here in Washington. I travel all over the state for work.
Affordable short-term rentals help us stay together and make Hazel feel at home.
Now Olympia is considering a huge tax increase on short-term rentals.
Pricing us and other families out, since more than half of short-term rentals here are used by Washingtonians.
Costs on everything are going up.
Please tell legislators not to make our trips more expensive too.
Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive. Host PAC.
The G and Ursula Show.
Seattle is at the top of another list.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
We are officially the most expensive city to host a Super Bowl party. As it gets more and more expensive, do you do things like, hey,
potlucks are fun. Yeah, that's normal. I have friends that'll come over and they'll bring something. Yeah. And I also got those friends that either bring paper plates or ice. Cornelius, I have him bring ice. He's a great ice guy.
On KIRO News Radio and the KIRO Newsradio app.
This week's First Mark Challenge victory, well, it goes to Mike. Hey, Mike, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
My wife and I moved here from New York City and found this great guy. It got pricey, but because he was good to us over the years, we stayed loyal to him. But then one day I got an increase that was quite unacceptable. So I made one phone call. I didn't do any shopping. My wife told me to call First Mark.
Mike, were they able to save you and your family money?
Oh, yes. It was over $100 a month.
What would you tell others they can expect when they call First Mark?
The most competitive pricing that you can find. And they had terrific customer service. Even if you're on the phone with them, you can tell they have a smile on their face, so you can tell they love what they're doing.
Do you wish you would have made that call earlier?
I was just kicking myself as you were speaking because I didn't do it sooner.
Well, you just heard. Mike did it. My family did it. You got to do it too. It's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. That's firstmarkinsurance.com.
Brock Ewart here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, we met about a decade ago when you came into the studio, and at that point, IRG was humming, but you were not 40 locations strong all over the neighborhood. How have you done this and why?
Number one, Brock, great people. Our strength here at IRG is our people. Secondly, we are a company that has a culture of giving back and taking care of our patients, taking care of our team, and thirdly, taking care of our community. We want to be your family physical therapist. More importantly, we want to be your family's neighborhood physical therapist. We want you to come in, have a great experience, and get better and get out there and be pain-free and function.
Taking care of your friends. Taking care of your neighbors, taking care of your community, and taking care of Western Washington. With over 40 locations now, that's exactly what IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is doing. Find them in person, find them online at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
We are going to the Super Bowl!
And the home of the Seahawks, KIRO News Radio is there.
Can you believe it?
All week long, G. Scott broadcasts live from Radio Row in San Francisco during the G and Ursula Show. Weekdays 9 to noon.
It is a circus like you have never seen.
And Luke Ducey will be on the ground.
I am on the lookout for everything 12s.
From the only station where you hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. KIRO News Radio.
Staples has hot deals and low prices on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
4 more days until Super Bowl 60. The only station where you hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Borders czar Tom Homan, sent by President Trump to take over the immigration operation in the Minneapolis area, announces.
I have announced effective immediately. We will draw down 700 people effective today.
CBS's Nicole Skanga.
The only thing that has changed is we have now heard from Tom Homan that 700 federal agents will be leaving the Twin Cities areas. But mind you, 2,000 federal agents is still an enormous federal footprint by any account, larger than what we saw in Chicago and Los Angeles late last year.
A prayer vigil is being held tonight in Tucson, Arizona for Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy, who police are still searching for after her weekend disappearance. Authorities believe she was abducted from her home. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos tells CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti that he shared a ransom note with the Guthrie family. And regarding security cameras at the Guthrie's home,
none of the camera images have revealed to us anything of substantive nature. Nothing.
Really? Anything?
No, it only goes so far back. And so we're giving it to those camera makers and saying, can you do something more with this?
U.S. talks with Iran after that country's deadly crackdown on protesters are scheduled for Friday in Amman, Jordan. The talks had been in flux with both sides at odds over the location and the parameters of the meeting. CBS's Weijia Zhang.
Our CBS News reporting is that because multiple countries in the region, at least 9, asked the Trump administration explicitly not to call off talks, they will still go on as planned for Friday. However, the administration is also setting very low expectations for any kind of diplomatic breakthrough.
Most states have some sort of legislation governing autonomous or self-driving vehicles, but it's a patchwork that's causing headaches for the fast-growing industry, and Congress is stepping in. Leaders at Tesla and Waymo have testified before a Senate committee about their driverless cars. CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
Lawmakers are looking to craft legislation to regulate the rollout of autonomous vehicles and set a safety standard that puts Americans at ease.
The freedom that will give elderly people is such a comfort to me as I become an elderly people.
Wyoming Senator Cynthia Loomis is also thinking of her grandsons and how they could benefit from a car that stops them from making bad decisions behind the wheel.
At the Winter Olympics in Livigno, Italy, freestyle skier Troy Podmilsack has been focusing quite a bit on the cuisine. A nearby restaurant manager says athletes have been stopping in nonstop since the games began.
It's pretty good, but for sure the pizza is the standout. I've actually had pizza every single day for pretty much every single meal besides breakfast, yeah.
This is CBS News.
Real crimes, real justice. Follow and listen to 48 Hours on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
A member of Congress wants to subpoena Bill Gates. Details coming up, but first, a look at your traffic from the real-time traffic desk with Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by the Pro Shop. 405 northbound, really heavy from Bellevue all the way to about 527, making your drive Bellevue to Everett about 52 minutes. Everett to Arlington, you're going to see a 5-minute delay. 30 minutes, Everett into Seattle, and Seattle to Linwood, if you reverse that, now up to 35 minutes. We're looking at a 30-minute drive, Seattle to Federal Way, and the Mukilteo Ferry is on a one-boat schedule. Gear up for the Super Bowl. Shop postseason gear in-store at Lumen Field or The Landing in Renton. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Nobody is above the law, not billionaires, not the powerful, nobody. Those are the words of a member of Congress demanding answers from Bill Gates, whose name turned up in the Epstein files.
Gates tells Australia's 9 News he was foolish to spend time with Jeffrey Epstein, but says he only had dinners with him, never went to his island, never met any women there.
The more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
Now, U.S. Representative Nancy Mace of South Carolina is calling for Gates to be subpoenaed to testify in front of the House Oversight Committee. On X, she writes, quote, "If these allegations are false, Bill Gates should have no problem saying so under oath before Congress." Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Trial is underway for the man charged with a hate crime for allegedly attacking a transgender woman in the U District last March. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports.
Prosecutors alerted Judge Jim Rogers early this morning to a jail phone call between the defendant, Andre Carlo, and an unknown person that took place from the King County Jail last night. It was a 24-minute phone call, but prosecutors focused on only 5 minutes, in which Carlo allegedly said, quote, "If I didn't hate trans people before, I do now. Absolutely. I think Trump should kill them. Get them out of here."
Prosecutors gave their opening statements. Then the alleged victim took the stand this afternoon. In Seattle, a federal judge has thrown out a lawsuit from 5 Patriot Front members who say a Washington man secretly joined the group and leaked their personal information, costing them jobs and income. According to KIRO 7 TV, the court says those claims aren't covered by federal computer fraud laws. The case was dismissed without prejudice, allowing them to submit a new complaint. Well, a Marvel superhero will introduce your football heroes at Super Bowl 60.
What's up,
Seattle's own Chris Pratt, who often raises the 12th man flag, will do the honors for the Seahawks. And even though he's from New Jersey and not Boston, John Bon Jovi will introduce the New England Patriots. And now look at your weather. Our warming trend continues today and tomorrow before clouds roll in a bit on Friday and temps get closer to normal. And looks like we have a rainy weekend in front of us, right around 60 today and tomorrow. Right now, 59 and partly sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line.
Okay.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Please.
Socialism failing to work as it always does. You talk about giving everybody something free, and all of a sudden,
what happens?
There's no food to eat.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. Anyway.
0-2. Vince Scully, end of his career, didn't care. Letting them all have it. All righty, let's see. Where's that sheet of paper that tells you what's coming up next? There it is right there. I thought I threw it earlier.
I know.
I've been in bed. Go, Joe! Don't forget the Bunkers Casino Resort text line. 1-888-973-5476. All are welcome. Teeny will find the letter of the day. That'll be among the many that come in. By the way, I have to correct myself. It was just a joke. Joe does not get paid per text.
Thank you.
So that's going to slow down the old text line just a little bit. Hey. Well, let's see. There's good news out of Minneapolis. Seems cooler heads have prevailed. So the border czar, Tom Homan, went in there, I think, last week. They, at one point, I think they had more than 2,000. I forget how many ICE agents were in there. So they're going to reduce. They're going to take about 700 agents are coming out of there. And
given this increase in unprecedented collaboration, and as a result of the need for less law enforcement officers to do this work in a safer environment, I have announced effective immediately, we will draw down 700 people effective today. 700 law enforcement personnel. We have also fully integrated CBP personnel into the ICRO team structure under one unified chain of command. Not two chains of command. There'd be one chain of command here.
Okay.
Any large enforcement operation I've ever been involved with, there's one chain of command, and that's where we're moving forward. During my press conference last week, I announced that moving forward, ICE will be conducting targeted immigration enforcement operations, like ICE has traditionally done for decades, based on reasonable suspicion to question and detain. ICE will conduct these operations and transnational criminal organization investigations with a focus on national security and public safety. I want to be clear. Just because you prioritize public safety threats don't mean we forget about everybody else. We will continue to enforce the immigration laws in this country.
Okay, here's why he was able to draw this down. And I think this, however they came to this agreement, this is the best part. It says, allowing ICE agents to collect the individuals in the safety of jail rather than on the streets. The change, which Holman said was facilitated by Minnesota's Democratic leaders, will allow ICE to reduce its footprint by nearly 20%. Doesn't that seem to make sense? ICE sends a detainer. We hear you've got a guy, and the person has committed all of these crimes. Hold him. We're coming to get him, so we don't have to go on the street and try to find him where he's at work or where anything else. That seems like a reasonable move. I don't know what the folks that are in charge of the politics there in Minneapolis or Minnesota feel about this, but this is smart and good for Tom and for the folks that worked it out, because now if it works, then they can try it in other cities. They could simply say, hey, you don't want all the protests. You don't want people being shot and killed. You don't want the ICE agents having their lives threatened. You don't want them to work under incredible stress. Hey, Washington State, maybe they come here next. They've certainly went down to Portland. Maybe they do it in Portland, Oregon. Maybe they simply say, just let us get them when you got them. If you hold them and you have them, we'll come get them. But to let them back out on the street, now we have to go to the street. So that's a smart move. That's good. Hopefully Washington is listening to that. And maybe we get Bob Ferguson rather than the speech that he gave. I saw him do a press conference. It was raining outside. He's talking about, we're not going to let them come in here and steal away our neighbors and, horror and using all the buzzwords you're supposed to use. So somebody grabs your 3-minute press conference and gets it down to 20 seconds that Governor Ferguson's fighting hard for our friends and neighbors. Like, what friend and neighbor is that your friend and neighbor that raped a 12-year-old? That guy? Is that your friend and neighbor? You got some bad friends. So hopefully other cities, other states go along. If this thing works in Minnesota, maybe it works in others where if we give you a detainer, please hold them. We'll come there and then we'll do the work that is set out for us by Congress. That would be nice. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, says that the Democrat judicial warrant removal is unworkable. This is something that they knew that wouldn't be able to go through, but he was basically saying, is he in here somewhere? Is he in here voting? No.
He should be.
No.
Oh, hang on.
Hold on, Joe. You're so busy thinking the world's coming to end because of all the Epstein files.
Well, I mean, it is, but I'm going to... Let's see.
You look at that while I talk about the fact that voting in America, Trump, for some reason...
I've got him.
Okay, good. Ready? Mm-hmm. Ready? Got it?
Imagine if we had to go through the process of getting a judicial warrant, an additional warrant, to go and apprehend people who we know are here illegally. How much time would that take? We don't have enough judges. We don't have enough time. It would take decades probably to do that. The people who are advocating for that don't want any immigration enforcement.
That's right. So you put this thing up that's so huge and would bog the system down that, again, you wouldn't need to go into somebody's house. You wouldn't need to go some other place if, again, it seems like a simple solution. If you have caught the person and you know they've got DUI, domestic abuse, assault, rape, whatever else, if an ICE finds out, just hold them, and then you don't have to get into this whole thing of, like, are they breaking down somebody's house? Are they coming in, searching around? Does the Fourth Amendment apply or not apply? Because they know that the warrant issue would take so long, especially if you got a judge that doesn't like the fact that this law is on the books and tries to slow the thing down. Johnson said there's no compromise on this one. So glad we wait around for all that sound there, Joe. Thank you. And when it comes to voting in America, the president, the great thing about the way the Constitution is set up, that every state basically runs its own elections. They're in charge of getting the ballots out. They're in charge of making sure that they're cured properly, that everything's legitimate. That's a state responsibility. And the states set up their own laws. When are they going to look at it? Here in the state of Washington, we've got mail-in ballots. In Pennsylvania, they've got different rules. When you can have the ballot, is it postmarked, all that other stuff. They let all the states decide that. They don't get the federal government doesn't get involved in it. But the president's like, hey, let's let the federal government count them all.
For the second day in a row, President Trump stirring controversy in Washington, suggesting Republicans should nationalize elections as he continues to make false claims about widespread voter fraud.
If they can't count the votes legally and honestly, then somebody else should take over.
Trump first raising the idea Monday, saying this.
The Republicans should say, we want to take over. We should take over the voting in at least 15 places.
Oh, my God.
Republicans ought to nationalize the voting.
Early yesterday, allies of the president claimed he was referring to the SAVE Act, a proposal that would require Americans to provide proof of citizenship when registering to vote.
I think the president has clarified what he meant by that, and that
okay.
is that he supports the SAVE Act.
This is the poor guy that has to clean up after him. Mm-hmm. It's the old joke about the elephants in the circus. They go out in the middle of the three-ring circus and drop giant piles of dung, right? And then some guy has to come out there with a broom and a dustpan. And then somebody says to the guy after he collects all the poop as he walks away from the center ring with all the bright lights. People normally applaud the poop scooper, by the way. They said, wow, what a horrible job picking up all that elephant dung. Well, why don't you think about quitting? He goes, quit? What? And get out of showbiz? So here's the poor guy has to clean up after the president. What's he say that I think the president clarified?
When registering to vote.
I think the president has clarified what he meant by that, and that is that he supports the SAVE Act.
But later in the day, Trump making his view clear.
See?
The federal government.
Another elephant comes out and takes a big dump.
Government should get involved. The state is an agent for the federal government in elections. I don't know why the federal government doesn't do them anyway.
All right. Well, anyway, that's not going to go anywhere. But the idea that people should be able to show ID, this seems like a good idea. CNN did a poll.
So voter ID, just so people understand, is the idea that someone shows a photo ID when they go to vote, when they go to cast their actual ballot, because there's a separate discussion right now about needing a passport or a birth certificate to register to vote. But the polling...
So take a look here. Favor voter ID to vote. Look, I got all this polling on the screen going back since 2018.
Yeah.
You'll notice on all of it, it's all north of...
It's just a guy that talks real loud, never wears a tie.
Yep.
He pokes at the thing and then it changes.
Waves his hands around.
75%, 81%, and then 83% in the last year of Americans.
I was so busy making fun of Mr.
So take a look here. Favor voter ID to vote. Look, I got all this polling on the screen going back since 2018. You'll notice on all of it, it's all north of 75%, 81%, and then 83% in the last year of Americans. They favor photo ID to be able to vote.
What about by party? What's the party breakdown?
Yeah, normally you might expect, hey, there'd be a big divide by party with Republicans really for it and Democrats really against it. But not really here. I mean, just take a look here. Favor photo ID to vote. You got 95% of Republicans, pretty much all of them, but even 71% of Democrats favor photo ID to vote.
Yeah, this topic comes up like every couple of years. I mean, you talk to some of those white saviors of black people. It's like, it's not fair. It's Jim Crow. They can't possibly have any ID. They don't know where to get it. They don't have the internet. It's like, what? First of all, they don't have ID. Really? So, yeah, it's not fair to them. Boy, their view of black Americans, and then I saw a survey that some guy took those, of course, whenever you do man on the street, you can manipulate the editing as best you want. But the point made by this guy, he gets the white saviors that go out there, and then he talks to these black people on the streets in New York like, what? I got ID? What are you talking about? What? Really? We don't have the internet? We don't have a phone? So, yeah, most people, I don't know, 30% or whatever it was, 25% that don't think that would be a good idea. Why not? You need an ID for everything. You need an ID to cash a check. You need an ID to buy a pack of cigarettes or get a drink somewhere or get on a plane. Like, are you okay with that? Why not be able to just show, here I am. That's my picture. There I am. It lines up with a photo. There you go. Instead of this idea of like just trusting somebody. What state is it? Is it Minnesota where you just need 8 people? I think it is, yeah. You go in and you can vouch for as many as 8 people. So the other like, yeah, vouch for me, would you? And then like, yeah, those guys are all good. They should be, you let them vote. I think you vouch for, is it vouch for 8 in Minnesota? Is that right?
I think it is Minnesota.
Yeah,
yes.
Minnesota. You can vouch for 8. It's like if you ever gone into a bar, this used to be this rule in Salt Lake.
A registered voter can vouch for up to 8 voters on same day voter registration.
Yeah, I know those guys. The guy in the red shirt, I just call him Red Shirt. That's my nickname for him. Betty Shirt. Come on, what a joke. Like if you ever go into the bar in Salt Lake, I don't know how many years ago it was, you had to get sponsored. So you go in there, and there'd be some guy at the bar, and then the bartender, the laws in Salt Lake were like, you can't have a drink unless somebody sponsors you. Guys, I sponsor them. I sponsor him. I sponsor him. I remember standing there, what happened there? Go, yeah, what would you like? I said, I'll have a martini straight up with a twist. What was that? What just happened? Oh, you had to get somebody to sponsor you. Did you ever been there? You experienced that? Yeah, it was the stupidest thing. Some drunk guy didn't even know at the end of the bar. Hey, I didn't sponsor that guy.
So you couldn't buy, even if you were of legal drinking age, you couldn't buy a drink.
Unless somebody sponsored you.
And it could be anybody in the bar.
Apparently so. Unless there has to be one certified drunk sponsor or something like that sponsoring you.
Wow, that is weird.
Yeah, and you couldn't have 2 drinks at the same time. You had to wait, like if you wanted to rack them up, get another beer there. Nope, you had to finish that one. And then you drink the beer and you're like, oh, you have another one. You're like, I'm not even drunk. What's going on? I mean, they're trying to get drunk, but just put a little buzz on. And then the guy at the end, yeah, they got 2 free beer. It's 2-3 beer. I'm like, what does that mean? Drunk guy at the end of the bar just sponsoring. It's like water. It's like having sex in a canoe. It's like damn near water or something like that.
I knew that.
Yeah. That's the drunk guy with a joke at the end of the bar. They stopped it now. You don't have to have a sponsor anymore.
Oh, okay.
But in Minnesota, you could sponsor 8 people. You come in without ID. They don't know who you are. But you then turn around and go, I verify these other people are also legitimate, citizens that should be able to vote. Yeah, there'd be no corruption there. And finally, the good news is there is a woman who at the age of 16 was talked into cutting her breasts off, healthy tissue, as they try to transition her. It goes to court, and now finally, this is the first case. There's about 27 other cases. A few of them have been settled out of court without anybody knowing about them. But the first one has come out. This is in White Plains, New York. A $2 million verdict for Fox Varian. She's 22 years old, sued the plastic surgeon and the psychologist for the double mastectomy in 2019. So she receives, the jury awards her $400,000 in future medical expenses and $1.7 million compensation for pain and suffering. And then what do you know? As soon as the verdict comes down, and as the checks start to be cashed, you start to see the American Society of Plastic Surgeons issued a new position statement that opposing gender-affirming surgeries in patients under 19. Because now here comes the malpractice insurance. That's going to go up, and the 27 other cases that are now pending, expect those things to turn in the direction of the people, the children, that were being sliced and diced by an ideology, but certainly not by science. So there's the first one. And then who came out with this? Oh, Mary Bridge leaders cite 2 federal threats behind the gender clinic closure. So they're saying, it's because the feds, that's where they're going to stop. And for people who want to know more about it and sort of the history of where it all started, look at the Dutch Protocol. Look that up, Dutch Protocol, if you want to see where this all began. And the story's all there for you. All right, here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori?
53 minutes right now if you're heading from Seattle to Everett. 4 minutes slow down, Everett to Marysville. And heading out of Bellevue to Linwood, it's going to take you 36 minutes. If you're heading from Bellevue to Federal Way, that's just under an hour at 51 minutes. Your drive Seattle to Tacoma is 48 minutes. We're seeing pretty heavy traffic on 167 out of Renton, actually pretty much all the way through Sumner into Puyallup. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
All right. You know what? Humans, we all value things like things that last, local businesses, long-term relationships, people that have been in the community for years, like the Madrona Financial and CPAs. For decades, they've been serving Washingtonians. They make a difference. You see, they combine taxes and investments under one roof, and that's not what everybody else does. You see, taxes are often the biggest retirement expense, bigger than travel and healthcare. Yet, most of the time, you don't get a clear look at your taxes and investment and how they all fit together. And that's where Madrona comes in and offers a thing called the Madrona Analysis. It's easy to understand. They review your retirement picture. They look at the entire thing with income and taxes and investment and how they all work together in one coordinated plan. And best of all, it's conversational. You're going to be talking to somebody who explains it all in plain English. You could discover the hidden tax traps, see your portfolio, see if it matches income needs, and learn step by step how your retirement can end in confidence. That's what you need, and that's what's coming your way. 833-673-7373. It is a complimentary service. The Madrona Analysis. Tell them that's what you want. Madrona Financial and CPAs, locally trusted and here to put the whole picture together. 833-673-7373. That's 833-673-7373.
Since the beginning, 50 years ago, KIRO has been the only place where the 12s have listened to the Seahawks.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks. Steve Rabel made the catch.
And Sunday, the tradition continues.
The Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl.
When Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman bring you the call of Super Bowl 60 between the Seahawks and the Patriots. And like every other Seahawks game, the only place you'll hear it is KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands, not amusing. losing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
The G and Ursula Show.
We going to the Super Bowl.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
I have been told about Woodstock and how it was just peace, love, and hair grease. That was the energy amongst Seahawks fans everywhere.
People were doubting Sam Darnold. He had the game of his lifetime.
At the game of his life. He won 14 games with the Minnesota Vikings last season, and he won 14 games with the Seahawks this season.
Subscribe to the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel and watch live.
Hey homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debt now may be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for over 25 years, Tila has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call Tila Mortgage today, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
G and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed. Shop now for a limited time. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Seattle's police chief is asking for the public's help after 3 young people were shot and killed in 48 hours. KIRO News Radio's Amanda Factor has more.
Chief Sean Barnes says detectives are working all 3 cases now, and he's urging anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers.
It could be the missing piece
to a very, very big puzzle.
On the G and Ursula show, Barnes also had a message for gun owners.
Do not leave your weapons in your car. Last year, we had 206 firearms stolen from motor vehicles.
He says those weapons often end up in the hands of young people. He's also calling for the return of school resource officers to Seattle campuses. The chief made the comments while talking about a nearly 20% drop in overall crime last year. Manda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
2 teenagers were killed near Rainier Beach High School. Another young person was killed in Pioneer Square's sinking ship parking garage. A Kitsap County deputy used the spike strip to stop a driver going 110 miles an hour along Highway 3 early Tuesday morning. The spikes punctured all 4 tires, and the car that is skidded to a stop near the Anderson Hill overpass.
Hey, show me your hands. Do it right now. Show me your hands.
The car matched the description of a vehicle wanted by Jefferson County authorities. Turns out the original suspect from Jefferson County had swapped vehicles with another man, and that man was arrested on suspicion of attempting to elude law enforcement. An Alaska man is going to prison for sexually assaulting a teenager on a flight from Anchorage to Seattle.
29-year-old Trayton C. Ballot was arrested on January 15th, 2025. Just over a year later, he's now been sentenced to 18 months in prison for abusive sexual contact on board an aircraft. During the flight, a 17-year-old girl woke up to find him rubbing her thigh. At Ballott's sentencing hearing, she said she was trapped in a small place where she could not defend herself, calling what he did predatory. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Washington State is suing several popular casino-style phone apps. Attorney General Nick Brown says companies behind apps like Caesars Casino Slots, World Series of Poker, and Bingo Blitz have pulled in hundreds of millions of dollars from Washington users without the required licenses. The complaint also raises concerns about child-friendly graphics and characters, including cartoon animals used to promote gambling. The Attorney General's office is asking a judge to shut down the apps in Washington and force the companies to pay back the money. And now let's go to our real-time traffic desk. Here's Lori.
Heading out of Bellevue to Linwood right now, 36 minutes. To Federal Way, 51 minutes. Now, Bellevue to Seattle, if you take 520, you're going to have a 14-minute slowdown. I-90 just takes 17 minutes. 52 minutes now, Seattle to Everett. And if you're heading from Everett to Marysville, you're going to have about a 4-minute slowdown. Your drive Seattle-Tacoma is pretty much holding at about 48 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Your weather update: morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, highs around 60 through Friday. Overnight lows will drop to around 40, and then it looks like we have a rainy weekend ahead. We just hit 60 under partly sunny skies in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
When it comes to your dog's meals, what you don't know can hurt them. Not getting the right nutrients can cause issues like broken bones or heart trouble. Before you take their diet into your own hands, KIRO 7's Monique Minlaving is taking a closer look to help you weigh the best options for your pet and your wallet. Plus, one vet shares what could help you and your pup live into their 20s. Thursday night at 5:30 p.m. only on KIRO 7 TV.
Thank you, Joe. Sif, well said, well read. Dogs living into their 20s. I'm going to start making my dogs their own food, like homemade dog food.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah.
Remember the scientists that we interviewed that had the medication to help dogs live longer?
Yeah.
The key to it is just they're eating too much and they're eating bad food.
That's what he said. He said people that feed their dogs twice a day is bad.
Right. So it gives them the right caloric intake without eating so much, basically.
Yeah, and stop, loving them with treats.
That's right.
I should keep a note for myself on that one. Are you involved in any of this betting?
No.
You don't get involved in it? The prediction
the
markets?
one vice I don't have.
That's the only one. The prediction markets where people could bet on nearly anything, whether it's wars or natural disasters, all that sort of stuff. So you look at it, and they put everything up you could bet on, just about everything. What do you think of the chances of New York City ever having free grocery stores? I think it's at 16% on one betting app. The other one has it at like 60 or 16%. The other one's at 63%. So there's trillions of dollars that are crossing hands as you can bet on just about anything that is out there. And ITV News reports on the industry and how it's doing.
Prediction markets are the new way to bet on wars, elections, natural disasters, and more. But as they continue to grow, here's how they're causing controversy. Just last year, Polymarket offered bet.
Controversies?
Controversy.
It's on how many acres the California wildfires would burn by, a disaster turning into a money-making opportunity. There's been offers elsewhere on markets that predict the number of deportations Trump could make in 2026. You can't trade on extreme outcomes, things like assassinations or other high-profile deaths. But other trades do pose moral questions. And then there's also how fair it is. With the traditional bookies, betting with insider info gives punters an edge. In serious financial markets, it usually gives you a criminal record. But with prediction markets, the line is slightly blurry, where gamblers can, in theory, make money on information you don't know about yet. So a few hours before the US announced the capture of Nicolas Maduro, a brand new Polymarket account took out thousands of dollars worth of bets that Maduro would be removed as the leader of Venezuela by the end of January. These bets paid out more than $400,000. We have almost no way of knowing who made them. It's because a significant amount of prediction market bets are placed using cryptocurrency without names or bank account details, making it tricky to find out who's behind a trade.
Yeah, so it's basically prop bets. You know, who's going to win the toss, would be heads or tails, you know, somebody can mess up the national anthem. There's tons of prop bets on the Super Bowl. So this guy speaks with the CEO of
Kalshi,
who isn't concerned about insider betting.
Some in the industry don't see this as a problem. Meet Shane Copland, the CEO of Polymarket.
People going and having an edge to the market is a good thing. Obviously, you need to curate them and you need to be really clear and stringent on where the line is drawn and like sort of ethics, and we spend a lot of time on that, but it's sort of an inevitability that this will happen and there's a lot of benefits from it, and people will adapt.
His argument is simple, that people betting with information that isn't public knowledge could help prediction markets to make forecasts more accurately.
That's true.
But what if the bettor isn't just someone who knows what's going to happen ahead of time, but someone who can help make it happen? Here we run into a slightly darker problem. If people can profit from real-world events coming true, there could also be incentives to bring about a specific outcome. In other words, take real-world actions to make sure bets pay off. Kalshi did tell us insider trading is banned on the platform, and they have surveillance and compliance teams that monitor suspicious activity. Polymarket hadn't responded to us by the time this video was published.
Yeah, they're too busy with their, counterintelligence on that. Wasn't there a movie about the people were going to short an airline and then they tried to blow up the plane? Nicolas Cage or whatever it was. Yeah. They said, okay, we're going to short the airline. The airlines are going to basically take a big hit in the market. So we're going to blow up the airplane, and then we short it, blow the airplane up, and they're going to make millions and millions of dollars.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's essentially what this is.
That's it. The idea of betting on just about everything, if people could make money on it. And I looked at the last one that was in there regarding the Republican Party. Will the Republicans maintain the House? Right now, they're in big trouble. 78% of those say that the Democrats will take the House. So there's 5 seats in there. So there's no way they're going to be able to come back from this, especially if the media and Trump continue and the rest that are on the other side keep the ICE thing going. That's going to continue to hurt them. They're going to try to extend that thing into the summer. The reason the riots, you're not getting as many peaceful riots involving fires and stuff because it's just too cold. So they're going to have to try to find something that they can foment the anger into the summer. So what will that be? Because we saw it before, they'll do it again. There were predictions that were made. There would be something. There was a prediction made in 2023 that this immigration issue would balloon into where it is. So they're going to need the people that want to be able to sway the voter will need something to be sort of really going strong during the summer in order to.
I think they found it.
What? You think the ICE thing will still be going on?
No.
Oh, God, here we go. Epstein?
Epstein. There's plenty to work with.
But But here's the part of it. You're not gonna, what the media wants. They want people out there marching around, with their colored hair, screaming and yelling, setting things on fire. That's what they want. Those are the pictures. Who's going to be out marching around about the Epstein files?
You never know.
God, Joe, you aren't. I don't even know you anymore. I don't even know you anymore.
Yeah, you started it.
I saw this. I think this is so brilliant. You go to a bar, and up on the wall, they have the prices of all the drinks. The more every drink that somebody orders raises the cost of the drink. So if everybody's in there drinking, I don't know, lemon drops or something, then people start ordering a whole bunch of lemon drops, the prices of the lemon drop goes up. But if people are not ordering Bud Light, the price of Bud Lights go down.
Interesting.
So it's in real time. So you're sitting there and you're like, I'll have let me have a Harvey Wallbanger. And then all of a sudden, everybody starts ordering Harvey Wallbangers. Well, then you can see in real time the price goes up. So it's like surge pricing. Same thing with like Uber or anything else.
Yeah.
So as the demand goes up for it, the price will go up. And then you can go up and go, I skip the Harvey Wallbanger. I'll have a Manhattan. And then other people start ordering Manhattans, and the price goes up on that.
Is it just for fun?
Fun and profit. Because the bar is like, look, if that's a more popular drink right now, and people are willing to pay for it. Now, if the price goes too high, what happens? Then people don't buy it.
Exactly.
Then they're going, oh, screw it. A Harvey Wallbanger is $14. I'm not having that. Give me something else.
I'll drink whatever nobody else is having.
That's pretty smart. The people that are doing this say that you can raise your revenues by like 30 or 40%. And other people are like, well, that's not fair. Well, why is that not fair? Then order something else.
Yeah,
Do you think they're being manipulated?
No, I kind of like it. I think it'd be fun, but I would order whatever was cheap.
Yeah, it's called the drink exchange. And you can, if you have the bar, they come in, they set the system up, they take a percentage of the revenue that you're making. I think that's kind of fun.
I think it is fun. Yeah, I would.
Well, there you go. It's fun. See?
There
cheered
we go.
you up.
We found some fun.
There you go. That's what fun's all about.
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori?
Well, if you're heading out of Bellevue to Linwood, it's a 36-minute drive right now into Federal Way, 51 minutes. Bellevue to Seattle on 520, you're going to be about 14 minutes behind schedule. I-90 is just a 17-minute drive. I'm seeing a pretty big slowdown both directions of 522 from Lake City Way on I-5 all the way into Woodinville. 520, as I mentioned, slows into Seattle. And I-90 has been pretty jammed up both directions right at 405 in Bellevue. Everett to Marysville, a 4-minute slowdown, and your drive Seattle to Tacoma, 48 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
If you're over the age of 50, you don't want to wear contacts, readers anymore, concerned about a cataract, do what I did. I knew that there was this thing called RLE, refractive lens exchange. I knew that there was a bunch of different places that do this procedure, so I thought, well, I just sort of chose K2 Vision. And here's what I decided to go with K2 Vision. I meet Dr. Kopstein, nice guy. We talked about golf and a few other things. And he said, listen, I'm going to take a look at your eyes, and I'm not going to do this unless it has a great result. I was like, really? He goes, yeah, listen, I might tell you to come back in 10, 15, or 20 years. I was like, no, I'm here. I want this. He goes, no, I'm not going to do it unless it has a great result. Takes a look at my eyes. Man, your eyes are in bad shape. I said, I know. So I scheduled the appointment. It's 5 minutes on one eye, 5 on the other. I go back in the next day. I've got 20/20 vision. I still have 20/20 vision. It's the best. If you don't want to wear readers, glasses, or contacts, if you're over the age of 50, you have got to check out K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. we can help.
PetterGasLaw.com.
Well, the wet, chilly weather has certainly arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and if your attic and crawl space are well insulated, your home should be fine. Should feel cozy and warm without your furnace having to work overtime. But you'd be surprised to learn how many homes in Western Washington lack insulation in these spaces. It's why you call Crawl Pros. If you're feeling cold drafts or seeing that heating bill spike, now's a great time to learn if you got anything going on behind that crawl space or attic by calling Crawl Pros. They'll come out to your house just like they did to mine, do the corner-to-corner inspection. In my case, they found the problem, showed me the pictures, and then they got it all fixed. Now, if they do discover your home is under or improperly insulated, they'll show you all the utility rebates that are available to help you get the work done correctly. Like if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could get a rebate to cover up to 95% of the cost of the insulation job. If you're worried anything is going on in your crawl space or attic, including critters, water intrusion, mold, plumbing issues, anything, call Crawl Pros and schedule your free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
We live here in Washington. I travel all over the state for work.
Affordable short-term rentals help us stay together and make Hazel feel at home.
Now Olympia is considering a huge tax increase on short-term rentals,
pricing us and other families out, since more than half of short-term rentals here are used by Washingtonians.
Costs on everything are going up.
Please tell legislators not to make our trips more expensive too.
Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive. Host Hack.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we know the key to a long-lasting roof is yearly maintenance. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? You can trust Guardian's licensed, insured, and expertly trained team. We offer free estimates, second opinions, and financing, giving you the peace of mind your home deserves. Call today. Our first-time customers can save $99 on our award-winning roof repair and cleaning service. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Save $1,700 when you have Day and Night match your current furnace with a qualifying AC or heat pump.
Your furnace is lonely all by itself, but it doesn't have to be. With our Matchmaker Special, we'll match your furnace with a perfect air conditioner or heat pump to keep your furnace company and your home comfy all year round.
Match your furnace to a qualifying cooling system and save $1,700.
DayandNight.net. Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Olympic Hot Tubs celebrates Seattle's star team with a massive blue and green savings blitz. Champion-level wellness at winning savings on saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges through Sunday. Go to OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life. Go Seattle.
Bum. Put Jeannie up there? Did I leave her on the floor?
Sure did.
Whose job is that? For the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 1-888-973-5476. There's so many people that are named Jeffrey Epstein, and what life is like for those poor people. They still have to live under the Jeffrey Epstein shadow.
This is a Rolling Stone article from a couple of months ago. They talked to a musician named Jeffrey Epstein and a garbage man, and he's just like it sucks.
My life sucks because I that. By the way, Bill Gates has come out. Gates, who says he regrets every minute he ever spent with Jeffrey Epstein, denying the STD cover-up allegation. He does explain that it was, Mr. Gates explained.
Knew a lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to Global Health. You know, in retrospect, that was a dead end, and I was foolish to spend time with him. I was one of many people who regret ever knowing him.
You've no doubt seen the allegations, including some of them from the last 24 to 48 hours. Are they true?
No, apparently...
Bill's right on this thing. He's going to explain the email that went here.
Jeffrey wrote an email to himself. That email was never sent. The email is, false. So I don't know what his thinking was there. It just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret and I, apologize that I did that.
The problem is some of the things that he has sent and some of the information about other people that has come up in those files has been true. Why would he do this and say this about you, do you think?
It's factually true that I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women. And so, the more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
Okay, so apparently the letter that Epstein wrote, the email that he wrote to himself but didn't send, was that Bill apparently got an STD from a Russian hooker, and then Bill wanted to get some sort of medication that he needed, and then he wanted to surreptitiously give it to his wife.
Right.
That was the email that Epstein wrote, but where's the email from Bill saying, hey, can you help me out with this? So he wrote it to himself, but didn't send it, but it's like just hanging out there, so Bill has to go, wait a minute. Anybody can write an email to yourself. Yeah. And now here comes Joe the skeptic.
Bill gave up $8 billion to his wife in their divorce that she alleges was over his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. So whatever the fire is, there's a lot of smoke, and it cost him $8 billion. Money that we can't even fathom. So yeah, maybe the email is not exactly 100% accurate, but
so you've gone through the files. Have you looked at, because you get on Gmail, a guy that's put them all together, and you can search them by name, you can search them by location, you can search under videos and photos. Have you gone in there and looked at those?
No, I haven't even gotten to Bill Gates yet.
Okay,
I've been at this since Friday.
It's so distorting your view of the world right now.
Yeah, but
you're bringing me down.
It just keeps coming up. I'm not forcing it.
Mind your own garden. There's nothing you can do about it.
No, you're right.
Here's the part. That if the whole thing, if like 60%, 50%, 40%, whatever it is, turns out to be true, that there's just lies and people are just distorting news and distorting everything, and the markets are fixed, and everybody, that all goes back to Epstein, that's blackmailing a bunch of people to make a bunch of decisions that are for their own best interest, but no one else's best interest. If that is the case, and this thing, the house of cards comes collapsing down, that's a good thing.
Agreed.
Right. Because then something has to build up from there.
Yep.
But there will be, if this is the case, and the house of cards comes down, and all of it gets broken, then people will need to rebuild trust amongst each other, as opposed to giving it to one dynamic force that has power over a whole bunch of other things.
No, I'm with you, and I'm not bothered. Like I'm not losing sleep over this.
No,
I'm just not. My your
worldview has changed.
Yeah, my ability to trust a lot of people who I didn't really trust to begin with.
Yeah,
who have blatantly lied about all this stuff on record. That's just like, okay, that makes my life easier, to be honest with you.
But while you're looking at all of it, well, never mind. Just we'll talk to her in the commercial break. All right, here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by the Seahawks mobile app. Bellevue to Everett right now, just under an hour at 55 minutes. To Federal Way, 51 minutes. Bellevue to Seattle on 520, that's a little bit slow right now. 14 minutes slow down. It'll just take you 17 minutes, though, if you take I-90. 522, I'm seeing a slowdown in both directions between Seattle and Woodinville. 52 minutes right now, Seattle, that is, to Everett. And then Everett to Marysville is going to cost you about 4 minutes. And your drive Seattle to Tacoma is 46 minutes. Download the app today to keep up with the action all season long. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
A lot has changed in 50 years. The Seattle skyline, how we interact with one another, and a new way to hear the Seahawks.
Touchdown! Seahawks!
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can listen to Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Super Bowl for free.
That is music to the ears.
It's the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60. Kickoff Sunday at 3:30 on the only station the Seahawks have called home for 50 years. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Ugh. Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit of federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
This is what it's all about, right?
We are going to the Super Bowl!
The pure joy.
It's a great time to be alive for Seattle fans.
It's why we're 12s.
Super Bowl, baby, let's go!
And Sunday, when history is written in Super Bowl 60, isn't there only one voice you want to hear tell the story?
A one-hander, JSN!
Wherever you are on Sunday, listen to Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, live and free on the KIRO Newsradio app.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
The Jake and Spike Show.
I check it late at night when my wife's not looking.
Weekdays noon to 3.
My favorite thing on my phone, which is my weather app. First thing? Yeah, absolutely.
On KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO News Radio app.
3-time Grammy winner, MacArthur Fellow, a voice the Associated Press calls a marvel. Cecile McLaurin Salvant brings jazz, blues, and fearless originality to Dimitro's Jazz Alley, February 12th through 15th. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. There is increased law enforcement activity outside the Tucson, Arizona home of Nancy Guthrie after her disappearance last weekend. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti is there.
The sheriff's department arrived here on scene. With them, they brought a canine. They are now searching this entire property. They have taped it off. CBS News has just learned that the FBI is now sending in additional personnel. Officials have been combing through hundreds of leads. This could be one of them.
A drawdown of federal immigration officers is underway in the Minneapolis area. CBS's Omar Villafranco with more.
After weeks of protest fueled by heightened immigration enforcement in Minnesota,
this is smart law enforcement, not less law enforcement.
Today, Border Czar Tom Homan announced that roughly 700 federal agents are being pulled out of the state immediately, leaving over 2,000 federal officers on the ground.
Who Homan says will carry out targeted operations. The midterm elections are 9 months away, but President Trump remains preoccupied with his loss to Joe Biden several years ago. In Georgia, 2 recounts have confirmed the 2020 ballots, and nationally, the president is talking about taking over some state elections. CBS's Weijia Zhang says that would be constitutional battle like few we've ever seen.
New body camera video obtained by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution shows FBI agents searching the Fulton County Election Center.
I got one way or the other, the records are coming with us today.
President Trump, who continues to falsely claim the 2020 election was rigged, sent National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard to Fulton County to oversee that unprecedented raid. And he personally thanked the agents afterward in a call set up by Gabbard, alarming Democrats.
The Supreme Court allows California to use a new voter-approved congressional map that is favorable to Democrats in this year's elections, rejecting a last-ditch plea from state Republicans and the Trump administration. Detroit Lions fans Ryan Kennedy is suing the Pittsburgh Steelers and wide receiver DK Metcalf. The $100 million lawsuit claims the fan was physically harmed by Metcalf and falsely accused of making racial remarks in 2025 at Ford Field. Now, Kennedy's attorneys have released a statement saying that allegations Kennedy used racial slurs toward Metcalf are completely false. Attorney Jonathan Marco.
He was assaulted by an individual who was the star, one of the stars of the game, who felt so able to do this with the eyes of Detroit, Pittsburgh, and the country watching him.
This is CBS News.
Real crimes, real justice. Follow and listen to 48 Hours on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Good news on overall crime is bittersweet while police investigate 3 shooting deaths. More on that coming right up. But first, we check in with Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Well, traffic's pretty heavy in Seattle, both directions of I-5 between I-90 and 520. But then it's not too bad until you get to Mount Lake Terrace, northbound I-5, all the way to 128th in South Everett. 405 stop and go. It's about a 26-minute drive now, Bellevue to Bothell. Bellevue to Everett is, well, that's about 55 minutes. And then we're seeing Everett to Marysville, a 9-minute drive. 167, pretty heavy from Algona all the way to Puyallup. And then 512, pretty tough eastbound from I-5 all the way to Steel Street. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
And good evening, I'm Nate Connors. Crime in Seattle dropped nearly 20% last year. Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes announced the numbers this week, saying homicides, shootings, burglaries, and car thefts all fell sharply. But the good news comes during a painful week. 3 young people were shot and killed in just 48 hours, and no arrests have been made.
Maybe there's someone out there that may have seen or heard something that could help us solve this.
Barnes says his detectives are making progress in all 3 cases. 2 teenagers died at a Rainier Valley bus stop. Another young person was killed in a shootout at the sinking ship parking garage in Pioneer Square. The Seattle Times has announced the passing of John Tulton. He worked as the Times business columnist. He also was an author, writing 14 detective novels. Tulton died late last month from organ failure related to a long history of spinal cord tumors. He was 69. New census data shows a wide gap between the richest and poorest neighborhoods in King County. Seattle Times columnist Gene Bach reports 20 census tracts now have a median household income above $250,000 a year. Most are on the east side, places like Medina, Bellevue, and Mercer Island, but 2 are in Seattle, Laurelhurst and Montlake. At the other end, 13 neighborhoods have median incomes below $50,000. 7 are in the U District, where students skew those numbers, but 4 other low-income tracts are in Pioneer Square, the Chinatown International District, Bitter Lake, and Northgate. Pioneer Square had the lowest median income outside the U District at around $35,000. The trial of Andre Carlo, accused of brutally beating a trans woman last March in the U District, finished day 1 this afternoon. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Day 1 began with attorneys on both sides delivering opening statements, what they believe the evidence will show. Then, after lunch, the victim, Andy Hosepel, took the stand and described the beating she took by 4 men, she believes, because she's a trans woman.
They were holding me down and kicking me. I was trying to cover my face. I was trying to plead for them to stop.
Carlo is charged with assault and a hate crime. The trial is expected to last at least a week. At the King County Courthouse in Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
And now look at your weather. Spring-like weather continues for a couple more days before rain takes over this weekend. Morning clouds, afternoon sun, and a high around 60 through Friday. Right now, we're at 60, and we're set up for a dazzling sunset out there in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show.
Okay,
Listener introduction
Let's
line.
learn something.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Why do you enjoy the show? Why do you enjoy the show? You cut a little square on a piece of bread, and then you toast it in your pan. You drop the egg in the hole, and then it's a nice runny yolk, and you dip that extra little extra piece of bread in your egg yolk. Thank you, Eric. Anybody can call the number. Nice to get something other than a recipe. 801-575-5532.
That number also is in the bio of our Instagram page.
Oh.
So find it there if you can't write it down.
801-575-5532. You know, it'd be nice to get one from Dennis.
Oh, yes, I would love that.
Long, rambling Dennis one.
Come on, Dennis.
We know you're out
Step
there.
up.
Dave, the naked mailbox guy, who, by the way, is single-handedly causing all of us to gain 6 pounds.
Oh.
Whole case of Snickers bars. Joe and I have no willpower. Although we fought back the Snickers craving yesterday, didn't we?
We did a little bit, but it's like at 4 o'clock. We know
it
they're
just
there.
hits, and then David's Snickers bars like, I'm here. I'm here for you.
Come get me.
Come get me.
Young guy.
Come get me. I swear I won't be nude. Diving in the the Jock tax. You know where it came from? Where the Jock tax. That's where an athlete goes in and plays. He's in a certain city for a couple of days, and then the city, the state are like, yo, well, you owe us money. Where'd it come from?
The Bulls lead by 7. Final seconds. Magic's three-point attempt blocked. Pippen comes away with it. And the Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship.
That's right.
The Bulls, greeted by a portion of this foreign crowd as they try to get back to their locker room. For the Lakers, a different story.
That's right. So California decides to get back at Jordan in a very California way, applying an income tax to Jordan and his fellow Bulls on income earned during their days spent in California beating the Lakers. So what does Illinois do? Well, they turn around and they decide they're going to retaliate. Now they levy a jock tax on players that come in from other states, opposing a jock tax on Illinois athletes, the reaction to the Michael Jordan revenge. And that's where it came from.
Are you kidding?
That's it. So when you think, oh, no, the government is, they're just doing their job. That's where it comes from.
It never happened before that.
Yep. That's like, hey, how come we really screw these guys over?
Oh, so embarrassed to be from California.
And then every other state's like, hey, let's do that as well. Now, Washington doesn't have it yet because we don't have an income tax. A few other states that don't have income taxes. But it is. By the way, they're taxing you. You can't go to the ballot box and try to vote the people out. Nope. Taxation without representation. The states are like, oh, you come in here, you're here for 2 days, we're going to take a percentage of the money that you make in our state. So here's this guy, Chris Stiegel from Salem News, said the Olympic, considering the Jock tax, nearly 10% income on non-resident athletes and performers could drive talented athletes away.
As Seattle Seahawks prep for Super Bowl, the team's sale talks heat up amid talk of what they're calling a Jock tax. Whether or not the Seattle Seahawks are sold after the Super Bowl remains to be seen, but the timing of such speculation comes shortly after the details of an income-based Jock tax on professional athletes in Washington state went public, a proposed almost 10% millionaires' income tax being worked on by majority party Democrats in Washington state. If enacted, would include a component that would force high-earning visiting athletes and performers to pay income tax on earnings generated during their time in the state. They're saying that could lead to their professional sports teams leaving.
Yeah, enjoy the Super Bowl this year because you may not be in the Super Bowl for a long, long time if they put this tax on, because you know what? Not all the players go to teams like the Miami Dolphins or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or places where they don't have to pay any income tax at all.
Okay, research shows that not to be true. But what they do is they manipulate the money in such a way. So here's what they could do. The athlete will say, pay me a whole bunch of money up front and then reduce my weekly paycheck down. So I'm going to go and play in New York, and New York's going to whack me for 10% or 13%. But they're only able to get a smaller bite of the apple. And then when I retire, I want a whole bunch of money coming to me, and I'm going to be living in Florida or Texas or some other place. So they are able to move a few things around. Here's a study that I found. Remember in 2020 when we were all going to die if we went to a sporting event? So looking at, let's see. So it was the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, all the games in 2020, NBA regular season, the entire MLB season. Remember all that stuff? So there are 20 states. I looked and found that 20 states in D.C. with professional sports teams in 3 leagues and individual income tax. The study estimates the total amount of Jock tax lost in all of those was only $295 million. That's it. So when they didn't play, that's how much money they lost. It's not even that big of a chunk of money when you consider the amount of money that the government is spending in these states. It works out to be about 0.2% of total revenue brought in. But they just like to whack these guys. And you're not going to see anybody feeling sorry for them. But the amount of complications that go into it. So every state, every city that you play in, if you're an athlete, you got to have your accountant go, okay, let's see, we were in Minneapolis for 2 to 3 days, because they call them duty days. So you're there, we were there for 3 days, so you owe X on that. And then you went down to, okay, then we went over to, we played in Virginia, we went over here, we played in here. And so they have every single state, every single city that they're playing, they got to pay the tax on all that stuff. When I go down into California to do an auction in California, they make me pay 10%. I'm there, fly in, I'm in and out in 12 hours. Boop, 10% to them. So I always make sure I get my 10% worth of value.
Even if, let's say, the people that hired you are based in Washington, the check that they're writing you is comes from a bank in Washington. If you earned it by...
in California, I got to pay 10%.
Wow.
Yeah. So I always make sure I get my 10% worth of, because I really enjoy the value that I receive, so that they got from me. So I go down there, raise some money for some nonprofit doing work that the government should be doing, but not doing, not caring for the people, but they whack me on 10%. So I always make sure I get my 10% worth of services from them by taking a big bag of garbage and throwing it out the window onto the side of the highway. I store it all up, and I'm like, okay, I got to pay 10%. Then you're going to have to do 10% of service for me, because you're taking 10% of my income. I've been in your stupid state for 12 hours. I sit in your stupid traffic for 12 hours, and you're going to, what did you do? What did you provide me? A hypothetical bag of garbage.
It's a very expensive trash pickup.
Yeah. Hate that. So this Jock tax, which you're going to put in place, and no one's going to cry for any of the athletes. It's more annoying than anything. It's an annoyance for them. Some of them will make changes And some of them will, if you have a choice, you don't go to that city. But I looked up to see, do athletes not play in those cities if they get drafted in those cities? Nah, not really. There are times where certain athletes, like golfer Phil Mickelson, got all mad about the California taxes. So I don't think he played there or didn't want to play in games there. They wouldn't play any golf there. But most of these guys are just glad to get drafted, and then they get the money. Plus, they also don't even think about that. They get the big check. The government takes a piece of it. Their manager takes a piece of it. The agent takes a piece of it. They've got all that money sitting there. I remember talking, I forget who the athlete was. I don't want to say his name because maybe he doesn't want me to say his name. He went to the NFL, and he said, I'd like to do a financial advising, and he wasn't even in the financial business. He said, I'd like to come in there and talk to your rookies and talk to them about saving money, putting some aside, maybe investing in businesses, getting ready because your career is only going to last 7 years. You really start to need to put some money aside. What are you going to do with that contract? What are you going to do with the money? Maybe you look for some tax deferred areas that you can put some money. He said he called them, and they're like, oh, yeah, sure. Okay, fine. Yeah, we'll call you back. So he called back a couple of months later. Like to come in, just talk to them, give him a little speech, because this guy's done very well for himself after his career was over. I said, how'd that go? He goes, I called back, and they're, nope, they didn't want to talk. And finally, he said, I got one guy that was with an organization that said, look, we don't want them thinking about anything else other than football. We don't want them thinking about where the money's going to be placed or what they should be investing in or whether or not they're in a stock or they're in a mutual fund of some sort. Their job is to come here and play football and not to think about anything else. And that's when he's like, okay, I see.
Well, it used to be really, really bad. And it has gotten a little bit better where, I mean, athletes just going absolutely broke because they, bought every person that has, a fraction of their blood, a house or whatever. But even, I know it's not this, every organization is different, but a lot of the best organizations do have financial advisors. Yes, they have meetings just like you described. They sit down and go, look, here's, you gotta get all this sorted out. This is what your agent or your representatives or your accountant needs to know. These are how people go broke. That
Isn't it sad when you see those athletes and even folks in the entertainment business really have all that money and then it's all gone. Yeah. I remember reading about Mike Tyson. Oh my God,
$500 million.
Mike Tyson tells a story about getting pulled over by a cop. He was in a Rolls Royce or something. The cop pulls him over, and Mike Tyson says, "Sorry about that. Here, just you want this?" And gave him the car. Goes in and buys a Ferrari, but then buys like another Ferrari, and then like buys one for somebody else who was there. Buys like a golden bathtub.
Couple tigers.
Yeah, I remember interviewing MC Hammer, and that guy had millions, but then he had like 28 people that were on his payroll that weren't doing anything. And I said to him, at some point, didn't you realize that you're just bleeding this cash? He goes, no, I just trusted the people I was in charge of trusting. Same thing with Billy Joel. Billy Joel trusted his manager, and he robbed them all. Because it's like, why is Billy Joel out on concert? Why is he still doing the road shows and having to play Piano Man over and over and over and over again? Because his manager ripped him off. Yeah. Well, the state's ripping you off because they were mad that they lost. So Michael Jordan started it all. You're still mad about that?
I am. It wasn't a good series. But.
Okay. The Seahawks, by the way, it's not like the Seahawks are not going to win again because this Jock tax goes in place. There'll be other problems other than the Super Bowl. You have more businesses closing. The Seattle Times actually does a story on a bunch of different restaurants. Now it looks like they're doing a story every couple of weeks, the restaurants that are closing around the Seattle area because the margins are too thin, the prices are too high. They can't make it work, so out of business they go. So the minimum wage was supposed to be for these people $20, no tax, credit for the tax, tips, and stuff. So the real minimum wage again is $0. Here's somebody left a gun. Does anybody know who left the gun there in the Bellevue Elementary School? The district didn't tell the parents for almost a month. Is there a reason they didn't tell them? That they thought maybe it's best that they don't know that there was a gun found? I didn't even see the story, Joe, until you put it on the list. How come this thing got any news?
It just came out today.
And is there any sound on it?
No, KUOW published it.
Yeah, and you got to fill me in on it.
There's really not there other than they found a gun in a bathroom and decided not to tell anybody for about a month. I mean, that really is the story. I don't believe they know whose gun it was. The police were not contacted until about 1 month afterwards as well. Let's see.
That's it. That's all.
Oh no, they did find the gun owner, but they have not named him. So I'm assuming it was somebody legally owning the gun that just took it off in the bathroom and left it there.
And did the kids find it?
No.
Okay, good. Yeah, there's a spellbinder for you. Well done. The other story that we're working on, I saw this on Brady Cruz's Undivided. There's a woman who has a daughter. She was in a school in Auburn, and she saw that the kids, rather than being in school learning about Congress and how laws and establishment of Homeland Security after the Bush administration comes in after the Patriot Act, rather than understanding how it is formed, understanding about immigration and rules and borders, they just let the kids go marching around outside, and the teachers were out there. So this woman, as soon as she saw this was happening, she went to the school and she said, "I'm withdrawing my daughter immediately. Where is she?" Well, we can't have her be withdrawn because the teacher that's responsible is out marching around. So then she said, well, I want my kid out of this school right now. My kid is not going to be in this school. So she takes the kid out of the school, and then they started a GoFundMe campaign. And I think she's already raised $12,000, and the money is going to be given to the mother so that she can then choose a school for her daughter. And I'm assuming it's going to be a school somewhere nearby. She said it has to be about 30 minutes from her home. So now she has the cash to be able to provide a choice other than sending her kid to the school there in Auburn, where they're just marching around. I'm sure they're doing a great job of stopping ICE. Boy, if I were a parent in the same situation as the kids are up marching, I remember saying to Charlie, do you remember marching around like during all that stuff that was happening when you were in high school? She goes, yeah, we just laughed and walked around and just go outside. We get time off.
There was another walkout today at Kirkland or Lake Washington High School in Kirkland, and Brandy went down there, and she said that there was a mob of students walking around, no adults, cars zooming around them, and that she talked to a couple of the kids, and they were like, hey, this is just a free lunch, basically a free day off.
Yeah, and the teachers are encouraging this sort of stuff. Wouldn't you want the kids to stay in school and say, okay, so let's talk about what this is. Let's talk about legal immigration and illegal immigration and how Canada treats people that try to sneak into the country. And do you think should countries have borders, and why do they have borders? Like, wouldn't that be a better use of time? Wouldn't that be better education than just having them make stupid signs and, go out there and take pictures of themselves or just march around?
Sounds more educational.
That would probably be good. Or they could continue to add to the dismal math scores in Washington. Now at quote-unquote, according to the Seattle Times, at emergency levels, whatever that means. Here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori.
Well, we have an accident. It's US 2. It looks like it's westbound at Fryland, slowing you down a little bit. Northbound 405, stop and go. About a 26-minute drive now, Bellevue to Bothell. Bellevue to Seattle on 520, 11 minutes slow down, making it a 32-minute drive. But if you take I-90, just 18 minutes. Southbound I-5, pretty slow from 18 to the T-Dome, and then 18 eastbound slows from I-5 all the way to C Street. 167 southbound slows from Algona all the way into Puyallup. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
I know what it's like. You watch your hair begin to thin, the crown disappears, and that hair loss begins to rob you of your identity. That is exactly how I felt. Gosh, it was like 15 years ago, before I visited Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair's got a simple just one day, as a treatment that regrew my own natural hair, and they do the exact same thing for you. So, as you noticed, as I did many, many, many years ago, it was starting to thin in the front, and I got a little bald spot in the back that just kept getting bigger and bigger. I asked Shelly, the girl cutting my hair, I was like, what do you think? She goes, you're going bald. I was like, what? I got to fix this. So do the exact same thing that I did. You get a free consultation, $250 off. 250 free hair grafts. Just call 425-449-8185. If you don't want to wait, because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the 425 Business of the Year winner 2 years in a row. Call them at 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Or visit them online at advancedhair.com.
we knew the foundation was strong.
Last year, everything was new.
But this?
We are going to the Super Bowl!
Doubters? What doubters?
We did not care. We've been playing dominant football all year.
Now, the stage is set to finish by claiming the ultimate prize. Seahawks Patriots in Super Bowl 60. Kickoff with Steve Rabel on the call. Sunday at 3:30 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show, the Big Seattle Boat Show.
The Big Seattle Boat Show is happening now through February 7th. It's the best time to buy, with big selection, big discounts, and big fun for everyone. It's a big deal. Presented by Sundance Yachts and Port of Seattle. Make it a date Friday evenings with Boat Show After Dark, featuring unforgettable ambiance, music, food, beer, and wine. Details and discount tickets at seattleboatshow.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO Newsradio.
If you've been sitting in traffic long enough to finish a podcast and question your life choices, it's time to flip your trip. Ride transit. Find a park and ride or roll past stress on a bike or scooter. Free yourself from traffic jams at flipyourtrip.org.
We live here in Washington. I travel all over the state for work.
Affordable short-term rentals help us stay together and make Hazel feel at home.
Now Olympia is considering a huge tax increase on short-term rentals,
pricing us and other families out, since more than half of short-term rentals here are used by Washingtonians.
Costs on everything are going up.
Please tell legislators not to make our trips more expensive too.
Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive. Host PAC.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Nick, did you know this is called quit time? Did you know what that is?
I do not know.
That means right about this time of the year, people quit their New Year's resolutions.
Oh, kind of like last year.
Okay, never mind. The important thing is that both of us made a New Year's resolution that we would take better care of ourselves for each other. And we're holding to that.
We are not flaming out because...
Longevity Medical Clinic. So we get the support of Longevity. We told them what our goals were, and they're like, absolutely, we'll get you in line. So they support me, they support you, and then as a couple, they're making us accountable for the decisions we make. So we're not going to be quitting on these things. I can't remember what your New Year's resolution was around the house.
My New Year's resolution around the house was that I was going to try to get you to start putting things away.
And I was going to get you to actually learn how to cook a piece of chicken.
Oh, well, that's for next year.
Okay, fine. Either way, we've got a team behind us. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Nate Connors. Is Savannah Guthrie's mother still alive? Police continue to investigate her abduction from her Arizona home on Sunday. Chuck Jordan, a seasoned bounty hunter, tells Jake and Spike Nancy Guthrie is more likely to survive if her abductors are sophisticated criminals.
They're going to need to provide proof of life at some point. If it's locals that, are just opportunistic and targeted an elderly woman in a nice house, then, of course, they don't want to witness.
Jordan thinks this was probably the work of local criminals. Nobody is above the law, not billionaires, not the powerful, nobody. Those are the words of a member of Congress demanding answers from Bill Gates, whose name turned up in the Epstein files.
Gates tells Australia's 9 News he was foolish to spend time with Jeffrey Epstein, but says he only had dinners with him, never went to his island, never met any women there.
The more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
Now, U.S. Representative Nancy Mace of South Carolina is calling for Gates to be subpoenaed to testify in front of the House Oversight Committee. On X, she writes, quote, "If these allegations are false, Bill Gates should have no problem saying so under oath before Congress." Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A homicide investigation is underway in Tacoma. Officer Shelby Boyd says they found the victim near South 11th and South I Street just before 5 o'clock this morning.
Callers indicated that they were hearing shots being fired in and around that area.
The victim died at the hospital. So far, police have not identified any suspects. They're trying to figure out if this is connected to another homicide that happened on Sunday just 1 block away. In that case, a man was found dead at South 12th and South I Street. IKEA is opening a new store in Redmond next Wednesday, but don't expect meatballs or a maze of furniture. The small format location at Redmond Town Center is just 2,700 square feet. Compare that to Renton's warehouse of nearly 400,000. This one is a planning hub where you work one-on-one with a staff member to design projects and place orders. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, there's no restaurant, no retail, and no same-day purchases. It's only IKEA's second location in the Seattle area. FanFest in San Francisco is drawing crowds from across the country with interactive games, helmet exhibits, Super Bowl rings, and autograph sessions. Seahawks fans are out in full force celebrating the team and the Super Bowl atmosphere. With the 40 whiners out, KIRO 7's Eric Thomas spoke with a fan who's decided to switch his colors.
I'm a Niner fan, but I'm buying a Seattle jersey because I don't like Drake May, and I don't want the Patriots to win. Go Hawks!
There we go. And now let's go to the real-time traffic desk and check out traffic with Lori.
This traffic report is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Westbound US 2 at Frylands, we have a collision slowing you down a bit. Northbound 405, a 42-minute drive, Bellevue to Everett. And then southbound 405, right past 527, we have a collision. That one's in the toll lane. Bellevue to Seattle, if you're on 520, it's a 28-minute drive. I-90 up to 21 minutes now. Southbound I-5, pretty slow from 18 to the T-Dome, and 18 pretty solid right now if you're heading eastbound from I-5 all the way to C Street. Still seeing a pretty big slowdown, 167 out of Renton, all the way through Auburn, and then from Algona all the way into Puyallup. It's home show season. Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving you 20% off, plus 12 months, same as cash financing. Visit them at the home show or lakewashingtonwindows.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. And now your weather update. We'll drop to around 40 overnight, back to morning fog and clouds Thursday morning, and then turning partly sunny with a high tomorrow around 60, much like it was today. We're still at 60 degrees as the sun sets. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It was September 30th, 2013. Driver were coming back from Hoquiam, back to Ocean Shores, Washington, was driving when he saw a deer run across the road headed about an eighth of a mile ahead of him. Then I saw something that looked like a human being make their way all the way across the street in 3 steps. What the hell am I looking at? He saw Bigfoot. September 30th, 2013. Welcome back to I'm George Norrie, taking your calls. West of the Mississippi, first-time caller line. All right, enough of that. Hey, Nate Hamilton, you and I had a chance. I had a chance to have a drink that you brought me and a nice salad there because you are a waiter. But more than that, in Ocean Shores, Nate, you run a kooky little place called Nate's Vintage. And when I asked you about the vintage thing, you go, oh, it's just not that. It is a paranormal shop in Ocean Shores, Washington. I was like, oh, really? And then you said, no, there are a lot of people that see a lot of paranormal things right here in Ocean Shores. Back up that statement now. I ask you, Nate Hamilton.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, John. How you doing?
Good.
How do I back something like that up?
Yes.
There's videos. There's all kinds of stuff out here that I think no one ever talks about. That there was a crash in Westport back in 1979 in November of 1979. So there's all kinds of crazy things out here. But what's even funnier is, where there's UFOs, there's also Sasquatch.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So every once a month at the library, Sandy and Kevin put on a SAS chat. So, and that brings up UFOs and this and that. So we're at the edge of the world, John. It's pretty crazy out here from Seattle to come out here. It's pretty wild.
Pretty wild. Yeah, I'm looking up. So 1979, the Westport UFO crash revival event. They get there and they talk about the whole thing. You actually, right. So do you think that you see more or you're more aware of things because of a photo that was taken of you? You showed me this when I was there at that restaurant.
Right.
You were 8 years old at the time, and there's
No, I was 4 years old.
Four. Okay, you're a big 4-year-old. Okay, and explain the photo.
Well, the photo was hanging in our house forever, and my fiance came down at the time to visit the folks, and she looked at the picture, and it's a picture of Dad and I, and he's from Hillsdale, Michigan, and he's a huge pheasant hunter, and we're 22 miles outside of L.A. pheasant hunting, and I'm holding up a pheasant, and he has his pheasants just put right there, and above my head is this orb, a UFO. And we never noticed it. And the wife my wife now, but she pointed it out saying, hey, what's that? And we never noticed it until she pointed it out.
Yeah, because people are basically looking at you, they're looking at the pheasant. And it is, if I remember the photo correctly, if you look at it on the scale, it is not at the very top, but almost at the top of the photo. It looks like what somebody would consider to be unidentified flying object. And are there more sightings for Bigfoot and more alien sightings in this particular part of Washington?
Alien sightings, no. UFOs and Sasquatch, yes.
Okay.
There's quite, Washington State's probably the number one in UFO sightings.
And did you tell me, I can't remember, wasn't it somebody saw Bigfoot like going through a dumpster over there in Ocean Shores?
Yes. It was a sighting 2 years ago in February. A lady was going to get ice cream. It was probably, I think, if the story corrects me, 7 o'clock in the afternoon. So the sun has gone down and the lights are on. It's by the elementary school in the by the canals and the lake there. So, she saw it, and she was a religious lady, and all she thought was the face looked demonic.
And she's not alone either, because you have a whole bunch of people. Is it a weekly meeting that everybody comes over there to Nate's Vintage?
No, it's once a month, but, my shop is Nate's Vintage is a safe place for anyone to come in and talk anything paranormal. So the funny thing is that I mentioned that sighting to an old timer that was wearing a veteran's cap, and I said, "Oh yeah, it was spotted here at this time." He's like, "Huh, that's funny. My son saw it a month earlier in the same location." So there are people who see it; they just don't talk about it or put it on social media. this got around because she put it on social media.
I see. So once a month, people get there. Is it normally the same crowd of people coming in with their stories, or just others that?
No, there's people that come from out of town. There's some people who are just visitors who are just out for the weekend, and they're like, oh, I'm going to check this out. So there's times where there's over 50 people in there.
Are you following?
Like a town hall.
Are you following some of the testimony that's been happening? I think it might have been before the House or the Senate. I forget what subcommittee it was, when they had certain pilots testifying to, I saw this and I saw that, and
right.
I have to talk in a spiff. I can't talk here. We have to have secret meetings.
Right. Well, right, because they signed a contract through the government. They have information they can't give out because it's they're using it for jets, all kinds of stuff.
Are you
reverse engineering?
Yeah. Are you one of these people that believe that that there are aliens from another planet that, and if for some reason they were to make themselves known, or the government would reveal, do you think it would have sort of a paradoxical shift of how we all view one another and possibly how we view the world and religion?
That's a pretty deep one. I'm pretty open-minded on a lot of things. For that, I think the number one thing is religion. It would wipe it out, and then we would focus on our government, and that's not what they want.
Yeah. I don't think that's interesting, whether it would wipe out religion, because if you think that, okay, there's some, it certainly would change people's interpretations of the Bible, right? But if you say that there's some force, there's some energy that creates energy in the world, and there could be other types of living things that have a more superior knowledge and a greater understanding of physics than we have now, but they could all collectively be, something had to make the universe, there had to be something existing. Right. There was nothing, and then all of a sudden there was all of this. Right.
Don't forget there's UFOs in the Bible. There's pictures, religious artifacts that have UFOs in with it. So who knows how, it's.
They can coexist, you're saying.
Yeah, coexisting. Some energy has to create all of this. Yeah. So exactly. Is there one time of the year when people should go to Ocean Shores to see Bigfoot? Does he show up more in February, or does he tend to be out there with everybody else at summertime?
Oh, he's year-round. Totally year-round.
All right. Now, people be suspect to, this is just people trying to get people to come to Ocean Shores. But these are, does anybody have any evidence? Like, are there photos of him, or does anybody have some of his hair or
scat?
Anything? His scat?
If you believe, it's kind of like God. If you believe in God, you don't need evidence, right?
Oh, come on.
Hey, I know. I'm throwing that one out there.
Yeah, you really are pulling that one out there. All right. Well, listen, Nate Hamilton, it was a pleasure to see you again. You and I had met many years ago in Seattle at Nate's Vintage and Paranormal Shop in Ocean Shores. Let us know if you cite anything, okay?
I love you, man.
All right.
You guys take care.
Thanks, Nate. There goes Nate Hamilton. Nice. First-time caller line, west of the Mississippi. All right. Here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori?
Traffic is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. 405 northbound, a 42-minute drive, Bellevue to Everett, southbound 405, right past 527. We have a collision sitting in the toll lane. Seattle to Bellevue is 4-minute delay if you take I-90, a 15-minute slowdown if you take 520. Looks like southbound I-5 slows from 18 all the way around the 16 curve to 512, and then you're slow again past Joint Base Lewis McChord. And 167 northbound at 84th, looks like we have a stall sitting in the right lane. Live professional boxing is back with the main event February 6th at the Emerald Queen Casino. The main event powered by WFC, February 6th only at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Oh, okay. If you're over the age of 50, Here was my story before I went to K2 Vision. I had a whole drawer of glasses and had to wear a pair at night to see. And then I had up close. I'm trying to play the piano. I'm looking at the music. Now I got to look up, look down. And I, like every year, I have to go to the doctor and get another prescription. I thought, this is ridiculous. What a waste of money this is. So I started looking around. There's this thing called RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. Looking them up online. There's a bunch of different doctors that do it. And I just thought, okay, I'm going to go see K2 Vision. So I go in there. I meet Dr. Kopstein. And this is what really sold me on having the procedure done. First of all, he's done more than 100,000 of these things. So I know I'm in good hands. He said, listen, I'm going to look at your eyes, and I'm not going to do this procedure if it doesn't have a great result. I was like, really? No, I might tell you to come back in 15 or 20 years. I said, no, fix my eyes now. He looks, your eyes are in bad shape, plus you have a little cataract in your right eye. We can do this. It's 5 minutes in one eye, 5 on the other. I do it. I come back in the next day. I got 20/20 vision. This is the best move. The best move. No more readers, no more glasses, no more contacts. K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Welcome to the first Puget Sound Express Whale Report of 2026. The whale community is celebrating the return of migrating gray whales to the Salish Sea. Each spring, majestic gray whales travel from the southern Pacific waters north to Alaska. A special group of these grays, affectionately named Sounders, enter the Salish Sea to feed on ghost shrimp. The team from Puget Sound Express report that there are more than half a dozen Sounders already in residence, including local favorites Little Patch, Gretchen, and Tahoma. Some of these whales have been visiting Puget Sound for more than 30 years. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers guaranteed gray whale tours departing from Edmonds beginning February 14th. On Valentine's weekend, the crew will hand out free roses to guests to celebrate the occasion. Puget Sound Express tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. They guarantee you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Hi, I'm Jen from Sky Nursery. If you're like me, you're itching to get out in the garden and get your hands in the soil. So check out Sky's full schedule of gardening events to help you get ready for spring. Learn about pruning fruit trees, tips for roses, a 2-day Wonders of Willow festival, hanging basket workshops, and more. Want to grow your own vegetables? I'll be sharing insights from 2 decades of veggie gardening in the Northwest. Anyone can do it. Learn more and get ready for spring at skynursery.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Every season is a little bit different here in Washington, but I'll tell you what, the amount of rain never seems to change in the winter, and we have sure gotten a ton of it this season. All that rain, all that water, it's all got to go somewhere. And if it makes its way into your crawl space, that's when it can create all sorts of problems, including real structural damage, which could really affect your home. But more importantly, for the health of your family, the water in that crawl space could create toxic mold, and that has serious health repercussions. Thankfully, we have Crawl Pros. They can come in and keep your crawl space dry, install a sump pump and drainage, and reroute that water back out and away from your home. They'll also take care of any mold that may have been created. Don't take the risk. It's too important. The best way to learn if you have any water is to ask Crawl Pros to visit your home and inspect your crawl space for free. Crawl Pros will go where you don't want to. So if you're worried about water damage, mold, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Save $1,700 when you have Day and Night match your current furnace with a qualifying AC or heat pump.
Your furnace is lonely all by itself, but it doesn't have to be. With our Matchmaker Special, we'll match your furnace with a perfect air conditioner or heat pump to keep your furnace company and your home comfy all year round.
Match your furnace to a qualifying cooling system and save $1,700.
DayandNight.net.
Three-time Grammy winner, MacArthur Fellow, a voice the Associated Press calls a marvel. Cecile McLaurin-Salvant brings jazz, blues, and fearless originality to Dimitro's Jazz Alley, February 12th through 15th. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
What do we got? What do you want to do? What's Hamilton?
Shorty, give me a couple words.
What do you got there?
Boom.
Okay, we'll get to the letter of the day first. Take care of all the rest. Joe.
Dennis in Seattle says, "Loudmouth, I beg your pardon, sir. Well, I never. A pie crust promise? Yummy."
We do want Dennis to call.
I know.
Dennis, I know you're listening. 801-575-5532.
Anything you want.
That's how he sends a text messages. And Joe from Snohomish says, Randy Macho Man Savage. Nice open.
Amy in Ocean Shores says, "Thank you, Mr. Curley, for spotlighting Ocean Shores and its unique businesses.
Yes.
I won't be able to catch your show live today, but because the weather is unusually nice, so I look forward to the podcast later."
Oh, there. Thank you for that one, Amy. Rebecca in Snohomish says on wedding venue contracts, "John, our contract is 14 pages, and we just let you get just 1 day."
Old Man John says, "I've never even looked at the Facebook. Back in the day, people wanted to air their dirty laundry publicly. We were on the CB radio.
Oh, yeah.
Breaker 19, yeah, idiot here. Want to hear about my life? I don't get it. I hope I never do.
Breaker 19, what's your 20?
6-7 Breaker 9.
Breaker 19. Oh, Jamestown in East Lake says, "I still don't understand the Book of Faces."
That's right.
Yeah, I remember that.
206 on Bill Gates' excuses. "Does the one-time richest man in the world meet anyone without doing a full background check?"
Greatest sentence ever written. Fernando in Seattle says, "Wow, that was amazing." Well, thank you.
Erica M says, "Nice, John. Here. The greatest nation on earth."
Kirk.
You better let me handle this.
Okay, it's too many words.
Kirk from Tacoma says, "Hey, John, you're becoming or have been a very good writer. I know you work on these on off shift and somewhat read them, but they are really good. Perfect amount of time. Great job. Keep it up."
Off shift. I was panicking today all night. Winter Olympics. Another long one. I'm going to get this one. All the words. Ready? I can cover one eye. Hey, guys. My friend Katie has been a curler for 17 years and competes in the semi-pro level. If at some point you think it'd be fun for a call, understanding the sport, let me know. She is a live wire.
Of course, I answered yes.
Okay.
425 says, "Milan, Italy is a combination of Highway 99 and Las Vegas tossed in a blender. Take that any way you like."
Wow, sounds delicious. Doug in Mount Vernon says, "In Germany, their BLM signs were from Bavarian Lives Matter." Oh, that explains it then. Okay.
Athena in Port Orchard said, "Curling in the dark sounds kind of sexy. Next time I'm curling in the dark, I'm going to think about Home Comfort Alliance."
Thank you for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. Hee-haw, Aaron. "I love curling. It's the best. Take a big old rip, settle in on your comfy spot with a blanket and a warm drink, and just take it all in."
On ice in
What is wrong with people? Hee-haw, come on.
On ice in Minnesota and Washington, Max in the 425 says, "Washington used to notify immigration officers when they were an undocumented immigrant was arrested, and now jails are not permitted to contact ICE."
That's right. 360 says, "Oh, well, boom, yeah."
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
It's right here. Thank you, Teeny.
This is from Lisa in Renton. She says, "Oh, I'm so heartbroken that my dearest, darling Nate referred to my team as the 40 Whiners. Yes, I'm a Niners fan, and I'll only forgive him if he promises to call your team what I call them, the P-Hawks."
Well, wherever Nate is, I'm sure he'll try to get Lisa's good graces again.
That's all she wrote.
That's all right. Well, we had a bunch of other letters we forgot.
Pretty typical.
She left the bloomer. Thanks, everybody. All right. Lori, second traffic, Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. 405 southbound at Southeast 8th,
Nice.
a collision in the left lane. Southbound 405 past 527, a collision is taking up 2 left lanes. Linwood to Bellevue, now a 13-minute slowdown. And Bellevue to Seattle on your lake bridges, 26 minutes if you take I-90. Westbound 520, though, is an 8-minute slowdown. That's about 30-minute drive. Southbound I-5 struggling from Federal Way to Tacoma, 18-minute commute. Southbound 167 heavy from Renton to Puyallup. Now 167 northbound at 84th. We still have a stall blocking the right lane, and we have an accident still blocking US 2 at Frylands. It's taking up a lane and slowing you down actually in both directions. For nearly 50 years, 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance. Right now, save up to 20% on the new heating and cooling systems. Call the comfort people, homecomfortalliance.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
A lot has changed in 50 years. The Seattle skyline, how we interact with one another, and a new way to hear the Seahawks.
Touchdown! Seahawks!
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can listen to Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Super Bowl for free.
That is music to the ears.
It's the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60. Kickoff Sunday at 3:30 on the only station the Seahawks have called home for 50 years. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
For nearly 50 years, over 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance, including me. John Curley here. Save up to $2,000 on a new Lennox heating and cooling system. Schedule your free consultation at homecomfortalliance.com. Call the comfort people at Home Comfort Alliance.
A lot has changed in 50 years. The Seattle skyline, how we interact with one another, and a new way to hear the Seahawks.
Touchdown! Seahawks!
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can listen to Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Super Bowl for free.
That is music to the ears.
It's the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60. Kickoff Sunday at 3:30 on the only station the Seahawks have called home for 50 years. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
DUI? Felony charge? Trust Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-OA. Over 30 years serving the Pacific Northwest and hundreds of 5-star reviews. Every mistake has a solution at 1-800-DUI-OA.
1-800-DUI-OA. Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Olympic Hot Tub celebrates Seattle's star team with a massive blue and green savings blitz. Champion-level wellness at winning savings on saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges through Sunday. Go to olympichottub.com. Better you, better life. Go Seattle.
4 more days until Super Bowl 60, the only station where you